something's different.
I am changing.
I don't know if I like who I'm becoming.
Boyd, there are a lot of people wanting to know what happened down there.
Mom, where's Dad? Why isn't he back yet?
Tabitha, we need to talk. It means everything they show us is real. I think they're doing it to make us afraid.
Well, then it worked. There is something ancient here. And it's feeding off our suffering, and it doesn't stop.
We're losing. We're running out of time, and we still don't know the goddamn rules. There is no way to fight back against those things. Everything we've done, every sacrifice we've made, none of us are going anywhere.
You think you're some kind of hero? You're a monster.
Lord, please protect us in this dark place where evil roams so freely. This we ask in your name. Amen.
One way or another, the truth always comes out.
I would make sure it doesn't.
Okay, ding dongs. If you don't subscribe to Jeremy Ice and Fire, you're gonna spend the night in the box.
Aren't Cooey.
And welcome one, welcome all to another edition of the Fromville Hour. And here we go, folks. Here we go. I can't believe it, but we are approaching the final 2 episodes. Only 2 episodes left in season 4. Feels like this season has whipped by, and it does kind of feel like it's only just now really starting to get good. But Raven and I and Snug were saying this a little bit before we went live. Even though season 4 up until this point hasn't exactly been the season I was hoping it was going to be personally, but I am definitely still holding on to hope that these final 2 episodes are really going to set us into a really good place heading into season 5. Again, I still feel they can accomplish quite a lot with 2 full episodes if they pick up the pace a little bit and start focusing a little bit more on plot progression. I am hoping to get some nice, decent revelations and something big happening over these final 2. To again set us up, pretty nice heading into season 5 to give us quite a lot to chew on in the off season. So I am still holding on to hope that these final 2 are going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, we've been streaming for a long time, and we've been in other people's streams and that kind of stuff. And one indicator of trouble, one indicator that you're having trouble with your stream is when the chat entertains itself, when the chat starts doing its own thing. And this is kind of what From is doing. I mean, we're more entertained by the wig memes than the actual show, and that's kind of a it's not a good sign. And I've really thought about that because, whenever I get a feeling like this, and I don't have time in my life to hate stuff, and I'm certainly not going to watch week after week of a show that I don't like. And I have to say, I still like From. The thing about it is, it reminds me very much of a lot of things. Like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Witcher, Star Trek, Star Wars. We like the world, and like when you're a passionate fan, you like going back to that world. So there was a time, anything with the Game of Thrones tag on it, I would watch it. I would go into it. Like House of the Dragon really hasn't done it for me. But the thing is, there's that part in the back of your mind that you love. That's why. Night of Seven Kingdoms was so welcome because we got to get back into that world. Yeah, we got to hang out in that world again and really just vibe in that world. I know, I'm not really like a super Star Wars guy, but like the Star Wars people love getting into that world. They love, they'll love getting into the Star Wars world, just being there and hanging out with the people and all that stuff in that world. And in the world of the show, not just the world of the fandom and the chat and stuff. You just want to be immersed in that universe that you love so much. And sometimes anybody can if somebody hangs a shingle with that name on it, and we've seen it so many times when a corporation like Disney will buy an IP. Now they own the IP, and they think that's all they got to do. Well, we own the IP, therefore we can shit out anything, and people are just going to eat it up because it's got the Star Wars,
the name brand. Yeah. But that's the thing with name brands, as popular as they are. Yes, and Star Wars is a very popular name brand. And when it got taken over, I think a lot of Star Wars fans were very excited to see where this thing was going to go. Where is this new trilogy going to go? And then, I think the Star Wars kind of community as a whole, the Star Wars IP as a whole, has been a pretty good example of that, as in terms of there's only so much kind of crap you can throw at the wall before it starts to taint the overall brand. And I do think Star Wars is kind of in a place like that, where when something comes out these days, Star Wars, that's actually good, it's like, holy shit, it's like kind of a surprise. And again, I don't think From is anywhere near on that level. Just to be clear, I think season 4 hasn't been as exciting as I thought it was going to be. Just plot wise, writing wise, character development wise, it just wasn't exactly the season I had envisioned. But that happens from time to time as fans. Sometimes we expect something and we get something different. I have been enjoying season 4. But it's definitely probably been, just as a whole, my least favorite season out of the 4 so far. And again, I don't want to judge it too prematurely, because I do want to see these final 2 episodes. Again, even though I haven't been, super excited about some of the storylines in season 4, I do still very much want to kind of withhold my full judgment until I at least see these final 2 episodes. Because again, these final 2 could be absolute bangers, and the season could end on an incredibly high note. And something like that could, kind of change your view of the whole season. I don't want to withhold my judgment too much, but up until now, just up until episode 8, hasn't been the season I thought it was going to be. But I am still looking forward to seeing how it's going to end.
Yeah, and we said this though. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sax, please.
No, I get it. I mean, this is my kind of take on the season is that I want Jim back. Tabby has been terrible this season, so bad that I was Team Tabby, but now no, except for just be useless. I don't know, but I want Jim back. That's how bad it's been.
Tabby's been kind of cringeworthy, and I thought it would be. Yeah, I thought she would straighten out by this episode. You know, after last episode where she was mean to Victor, I think we all predicted, you know, she'd kind of like see reason and then, you know, apologize to Victor and say, okay, whatever. She wasn't. She was rolling her eyes and had her arms crossed and like, you know, sighing while Victor's trying to, you know, give Ethan the small amount of knowledge that he has to keep him alive, to help him survive in, you know, in a worst case scenario. And it's always like hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And meanwhile, she's just spouting, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen. You have no, I mean, the one thing that she should be aware of is that she doesn't have control of anything, and she's in no position to be making promises like that. But it's kind of wild. You know, every episode though, we've been saying every other episode, oh well, you know, next episode it's gonna be all gas, no brakes. Oh man, this one was a little lackluster, but I bet they're really gonna blow our socks off next episode. But we've been saying that every other episode for the entire season. If you pull up the IMDb ratings, and I mean, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Although I don't think something like From really gets review bombed or anything. It's not like these numbers are wildly inaccurate. But like 1 and 2 started out strong. 5 was strong. 5 was over the 8.5 out of 10. But 3, 4, and 6 and 8, was below 7, and some of them were at a 6.1.
Some of them were low 6s. This is consistently the lowest scored season we've seen so far on and again, like you said, I never really put too much stock in IMDb myself personally, but it is to some degree a certain measure of a gauge that at least some fans are voting on, because I agree with you. I mean, From it is a pretty small show. Yes, it's grown a lot, but I don't see people beating down the doors to go review bomb a show like From. I just don't see that. Yeah, you'll get some, but definitely nothing to like the extent you would see like on a Game of Thrones show or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, and not only that, I think it's also reflective in here in the chats and in the comment sections as well, because I gotta say, for this season, we've probably gotten more views and more comments this season than we have any other previous season, and that's steadily been the trend. Every season we tend to do better numbers because the show grows every season. But this season we kind of blew the doors off in terms of the numbers that we were doing and the comments we were getting. So we definitely got at least to pull a good census from a pretty wide variety of the fandom, and that's large part thanks to the trailers that I've been uploading. If you look at the channel, a lot of the trailers that I've uploaded on the channel are all between 300,000 and 500,000 views. So there's been a lot of From fans commenting, and that is a trend that we have noticed this season more than any other season, that there's a huge majority of the fandom that is not enjoying season 4. And you always have some people, again, the From fandom's always been kind of split down the middle, where you always have, you know, some people that are really loving it and some people that are really not. But it's always been kind of equal. It's always been kind of in balance in a sense. But this is the first season that I've seen anyway, that it seems to be where almost the majority of people seem to not be liking it as much.
Well, it almost reminds me of House of the Dragon season 2, where just nothing happened. You just had episode where you thought that was just set up, and just, I don't even remember how that season ended, but there have been just too many episodes this season where just literally nothing happens. The character's just going to stand there and tell the other characters what we already know as the audience.
Yeah.
Which I guess that might come from some of the criticism of why aren't the characters talking to each other, but you know, when you're just telling them what the audience already knows, then it doesn't move the story forward.
And I think, Ramsey brings up a good point here. One of the things that I've really liked about From up until this point is that it's never really been the type of show that, you know, has to spoon feed its audience answers. It's never been the type of show that needs to hold its audience's hand. The writing has always kind of treated the audiences like adults, like we actually have a brain, like they're giving us an actual difficult puzzle to solve. But I have noticed that this season in particular, it seems like they're relying a lot more on these kind of, these diatribe exposition dumps and stuff that isn't, it does feel at times like they're kind of spoon feeding us answers, and they're not, I feel like they used to throw us information, and they used to have to kind of let us put that information together for ourselves. Again, the show always challenges me. That's one thing I love about From, and it still does. But that's one thing that's always been interesting about From is trying to figure out what exactly are they telling us? Where is this going? What is the ultimate answer? What are some of the underlying themes? What are some of the messages? But this season, it does seem like the answers are a lot more kind of on the surface, and we're getting them just through kind of these exposition dialogue kind of exchanges, instead of like actually seeing these things. And again, I probably sound like a broken record, but for me, one of the best things about storytelling, one of the best signs that a writer is a good writer, and I know this is not written in stone. Everybody has their own preference for what they believe is good writing. But for me, one of the hallmarks that I see as good writing is show the audience, don't tell the audience. Anyone can tell the audience, anyone can write out an exposition dump and reveal something that's easy. That's kind of a lazy form of writing, in my opinion. It takes a little bit more creativity to show the audience, less dialogue, more visuals. Tell a story through your visuals, and don't always have to rely on these kind of dialogue back and forth to provide answers. And I think that's one thing that season 4 has kind of leaned on a little bit more in the past, where we're getting more answers through just straight up dialogue, instead of them showing us, instead of them, kind of bringing us on the journey. They're telling us the story instead of bringing us through the story, is what it kind of feels like. But that's just my personal preference for storytelling. I like trying to figure things out on my own, and that is one thing that From has always been done. From has always been an incredibly clever show, and it still is. Like, by no means is it not a clever show. I am still enjoying season 4 for the most part, but there has been a few episodes that it has been like, okay, we're seeing some weird character regression moments, some weird writing choices, some character directions that just I myself haven't been the biggest fan of. And I know the Sophia thing has been kind of an interesting topic heading into season 4, and that's definitely one. Just again, based on what we're seeing in the comment sections and stuff, that is one topic that has been kind of almost split down the middle, where you have some people that enjoy the Sophia version of the Man in Yellow, and then you have some people that really, really want the Doug version of the Man in Yellow back. And I'm kind of in that second camp. Like, nothing against the Sophia version, but I definitely prefer the Man in Yellow version of the character. I just think he's more exciting. I think he's scarier. I think he's more intriguing, more mystical. He feels more powerful. It has that unique feeling of originality. And that doesn't come along too often these days, where people can come up with like a truly original villain that feels new, that feels fresh, that feels interesting. And that's kind of how I felt when I was first introduced into the Man in Yellow. But then in season 4, I don't know, him turning into Sophia just wasn't my favorite storyline personally. And I think there could have been some interesting things that they could have done with the Man in Yellow Doug version of the character, instead of this undercover storyline that they went ahead with. But then again, that's just a personal preference. I know everybody has their preferences. One thing I will at least acknowledge, then you guys please take the floor. I want to hear from you guys and everybody in the chat as well. One thing I at least will say is the discussions around season 4 have been incredibly fun. And I think that is due in part because it's been so, split down the middle, because it's been a little bit divisive at times. I feel like it has at the very least created for some very interesting kind of conversations where, we don't always agree on things. And that's totally fine. I feel like that's one of the fun parts of fandom. I feel like it'd be incredibly boring if we all just agreed on everything all the time. So if nothing else, even if it has been my favorite season, the discussions around it have definitely been some of my favorite.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, the thing about Sophia being the quiet manipulator, that it's coming too late in the game for me. I mean, that should have happened in like season 3, kind of.
That's kind of how I feel too. It's like too late in the story for a storyline like this. That was my initial thought as well.
And those long lingering, her making some weird face that's supposed to be either menacing or something, and the camera lingers on it too long, and it's like, okay, it's a little on the nose there.
Yeah, it's breaking the fourth wall when it probably shouldn't. Yeah.
It's funny.
It's
Oh, good. So
it's kind of weird that they've dragged this on so long when you go back a season, and I figured that they would leave Tabby in the real world for longer, but no, just an episode. And then, that seemed to be wrapped up pretty quickly when, we're just dragging, and there's no menace to her. I mean, that's the nice thing about the man, the yellow hat, is that he's got the menace where there's just no menace, and she's not really doing a whole lot in the town. Really, I mean, has she really done anything except for, I mean, you can see that she's the one was manipulating Sarah, but other than that, and then the interaction with Henry, I mean, what have we really gotten from that arc? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't know. I might be an outlier here, but I was kind of almost. I mean, I was happy to see Doug back as the man in yellow, and I thought it was cool. But then he went full Bond villain, and he's like, I'm not going to kill you now. I'm going to kill you later, Mr. Bond. It's like, really, man? Seriously? Just kill her. Just kill Tabitha, please. Just end all of our misery.
Yeah, again, it's been a very interesting topic of conversation, if nothing else. That is for sure. And again, it's probably been some of the most fun conversations, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what you guys are saying as well. What have you guys been enjoying about season 4 so far? What have you not been enjoying about season 4? What are you guys thinking heading into these final 2 episodes? And what are some of your final theories and predictions? Again, we do only have 2 episodes left. So I am very much interested to see just how much are they going to give us in these final 2 episodes, because they haven't given us a whole lot in season 4, just as a whole, in terms of plot progression. So I am wondering, how far are they going to go? How far can they go in these final 2 episodes? How much can they give us? And then when I look at the episode 9 title, which is entitled The Calm Before, which is most commonly referring to the calm before the storm. Now, of course, we all know the calm before the storm. It's the calm and quiet period before something, really big and intense happens. So that definitely tells me that episode 9 is probably going to be more setup. It just sounds that way. The calm before the storm very much tells me that episode is going to be that last kind of moment of kind of relaxation, that last little moment of peace before things really start to pop off as soon as they go into those caves. And I also think that, the calm before might literally be referring to an actual storm coming into Fromville, similar to like we saw in season 1. We'll talk a little bit more about that after we watch the episode 9 trailer. But yeah, I don't know. I guess heading into these final 2 episodes, I am very curious to see how much are they going to give us, and what point are they going to leave us at for season 5?
Well, the trailer had a lot of Clara in it, and Clara had been missing. And it's funny, people had noticed her absence, but I think there's a difference between noticing her absence and missing her. So I hope they don't play her like she's some beloved character, because
well, to some people she is. Believe it or not. Yeah,
Okay.
some people really like this. Some people really like the Clara character.
Some people love crack too.
Doesn't mean it's good. Yeah.
But I mean, I hope they don't play it like killing off Clara will be like the pulling on the heartstrings. I do think Henry is still on the short list to die. But and that's been one of the things that's almost been an anchor around the show's neck, because they have so many characters that we've mentioned this so many times too. There's a lot of bloat. There's a lot of characters, and the thing is, they're not. I mean, they're not the main characters. I mean, if you would classify like Boyd and Jade as main characters, but they're still primary characters essentially, and they seem to be obligated to at least check in on these storylines again and again on a regular basis. And that's a lot of screen time that gets lost. And at this point, now we can pretty much expect that. I mean, I think it's a short putt to assume that there are going to be a lot of deaths when they finally do go into the caves. I think everybody, you know, it's written basically in a neon sign that this plan of going down in the caves is not going to work out well. It's not even a spoiler. It's like everything indicates it.
Yeah,
Plus
you
the
know
fact
it's
that they've
gonna.
got a whole nother season. Yeah.
Yeah, you know something's going to go wrong. We have one full season left. There's no way this is going to be the answer. There's no way getting the bones is going to be the ultimate end-all be-all answers. The bones might be step one. Maybe the bones might be part of what they need to ultimately put the children to rest and save the children or whatever they plan on doing. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I think this is definitely going to go wrong. I definitely see them leaving with the bones, but I definitely see it coming at an incredibly heavy cost because it seems like we're at the point in the story now. And one thing that From has kind of loosely followed has been that kind of, that 12-step structure of the hero's journey narrative, the story structure narrative from Joseph Campbell, how he lays out how most stories in existence, a lot of them fall within the category of what's called the hero's journey. It's 12 different narrative steps within most that you see repeated in most stories. And here, where you seem to be at the approach to the innermost cave, where they're preparing for their kind of, their last, big mission that they're going to kind of undergo. And they should succeed. They should get the bones, but I do think it's going to come at a very heavy cost, as is what usually happens during this, part of the story. Yes, they'll get the thing they're searching for, but it is going to cost them something dearly, or at least I really hope that is the case. I hope that they don't just go into those caves and get those bones unscathed. The way that they've hyped this storyline up, the way that pretty much the entire season has been building up to this moment, to this storyline, to Jade heading down into the caves and trying to find the bones. This is what the whole season has been building to. So yeah, it needs to be bloody. It needs to be costly. There needs to be a price that they have to pay. Again, knowledge comes with a cost is supposed to be the tagline for season 4. But so far, we're seeing our characters get some knowledge here and there, but we're not really seeing them pay much of a cost yet. I mean, we're slowly starting to see Fatima pay a little bit of a cost for what she's going through. But other than that, we're not seeing a whole lot of cost after Jim died in terms of, acquiring some of this knowledge. So there needs to be some kind of cost in these final 2 episodes. There needs to be some kind of, really heavy traumatic price that they pay for getting these bones. Or they fail entirely and don't get the bones. Those are the only kind of 2 options I see.
But why do they assume they need the bones?
I think, Jade mentions earlier that he believes that, in some cultures, remains are revered. And in some cultures, there is, mythology that points to putting the bones to rest. Giving the bones a proper burial could essentially put the spirit to rest. So I think that's what Jade is hoping is going to happen. But I don't think that's going to be the answer. I don't think it's going to be easy as digging up these bones, giving them a proper burial, and sending these kids on their way. It's not going to be that simple.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's as old as like Poltergeist, right? When the graves were disturbed, and that's and Poltergeist was by no means original in that concept. The idea of a disturbed corpse.
The idea that putting the remains to rest can put the spirit to rest. Hell, who hasn't seen Supernatural? Use salt and burn the fucking bones. Always salt and burn the bones. But yeah, no, I think that Jade is just hoping that this is going to be the answer. But again, I don't think it's going to be that easy. It can't just be that easy. It really can't be. It's got to be a little more complicated.
It's a bit like the end of season 1, where they're putting all their stock into this tower
into
and getting a
radio.
signal out. It's very much echoing the end of that season, and so I wonder how much will be the same for this one. It's not gonna turn out. And if anything, it's like, why are we gonna pull up the tree that's supposed to get to the tower? Because it's like, as I kind of look back through it, like we've lost so many like different clues that were important, like the dog. What happened to the dog? The lighthouse. We're not talking about the lighthouse anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't understand where all those things went. I mean, I was hoping they would tie them up this season, but we've just gotten kind of more clues with nothing really tied up. So.
And I think that has been a little bit of a theme in season 4, where we've gotten some answers in season 4. I don't want to say we haven't gotten any, because we have. We've definitely gotten some interesting answers. There has been some long-awaited fan theories that have been confirmed, like finding out that all the visions that Jade is having, all the previous Jades that he's seen, are all his previous incarnations. Long theory that we've all kind of suspected, confirmed. We find out how all the Jades ultimately die, how they don't get killed by the monsters, they get killed by the townsfolk. So we are getting some of these answers along the way, but it does seem like every time we get one of these answers, we're getting 2 new questions with it. And that is a form of storytelling that is sustainable for the beginning. But once you get towards the end and you're in your final 2 seasons, you'd like to start seeing a little bit more payoff and less payoff, more setup, payoff, more setup.
Right.
But again, it just seems like that. I think they're maybe saving most of the big reveals. It just seems like they're saving for season 5. And I guess that was my misinterpretation. I thought heading into season 4 that they would probably spread the big reveals out over the course of the final 2 seasons. But it seems like they're saving most of them for just the final season. So I guess that'll be interesting to see when the final season actually gets here. But it does make for a bit of a slower season 4 in terms of plot progression and revelations.
Yeah, and there's a thin line between, like one person, like what I might consider a setup episode, or somebody might consider a setup episode for something big to come in a future one. Yeah. But the line between that and just calling it filler, I think people just have different levels of tolerance. And believe me, there's been, for a fact, throughout this season, there's been a few episodes that has even crossed the line for me. Some of these episodes just didn't do it for me, just didn't scratch the itch. And I know, I know as well as anybody how over the seasons, how the writers and how the showrunners, they do the roller coaster. They bring you to a peak, and then you go
and they bring you down
the valley. And after the splashy episode, there's always that regrouping where you reassess the events that just happened and then plan on how to go from there. We've seen it so many times, but even then, it doesn't. There's just some episodes where I just leave with and it's not like I get angry. It's like, oh my God, I'm so furious that this happened or whatever. I just have a completely straight face. It fails to move me in any way. So I just kind of like, it's like taking a shower or, eating a muffin for breakfast. It's just nothing. It nothings me. It doesn't move me in any way.
What kind of muffin? You never know.
A plain old muffin. No, not even a blueberry or a chocolate chip. That's too bad. Man. That's
plain.
Oat and no other flavor with no butter or nothing.
All right. Let me get to some of these super chats here real quick and see what the chat is saying, because we want to hear from you guys as well. Again, if nothing else, the discussions have been really fun. Season 4 has been a bit divisive, and that's fun. And that's fun sometimes to see, 2 different sides. We got West of Westeros for $1.99. Thank you so much, West of Westeros, saying hi to the Frumley. Welcome. Very much a thank you, my friend. Very much thank you. And we got West of Westeros again for $4.99. What if Sophia takes all the talismans from the doors as the crew that enters the cave? The crew comes back out of the caves, the town's massacred. Again, I think the talismans being messed with has been a very kind of interesting theory that has been kind of employed in many different ways throughout season 4. Like, I've heard so many different theories about which character is going to grab the talismans, what's going to happen with the talismans. I think a lot of people are expecting something to happen with these talismans at some point. And yeah, again, Sophia is perfectly primed. If anyone were to do something like that, again, it's so funny. We've been talking for seasons about who's the mole. And then season 4's storyline is literally centered around a fucking mole. So the irony, if nothing else, is kind of funny there. But yeah, Sophia, she hasn't been discovered yet. Her cover is still intact, which I'm hoping isn't going to be for too much longer. But yeah, she is perfectly primed and placed to steal all the talismans if she wanted to, and fucking hide them somewhere, throw them somewhere. They'd be absolutely screwed. And they probably wouldn't even know it was her until it was too late. So yeah, I can see that being a possibility that she does something with the talismans.
Yeah, she was a straight up serial burglar last episode. She just walked into everybody's house.
Walked right in. Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah, she's in the Matthews house. She's
Rummaging through
in
Boyd's fucking
in
drawers.
Boyd's-
Doesn't even put anything
Mhm.
back either. Like to disguise that she was there. Just fucking leave it a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, leaves a box sitting right on top. It's like what? Yeah, but I mean, it was kind of like wow, she's just waltzing through everybody's house and
Very
you know,
brazen.
nobody's home.
Very brazen. Very brazen indeed. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a very interesting idea, you know, not just taking the talismans, but like you said, the town massacred. Well, that's the thing. It seems like they're planning on doing this plan into the caves. It seems like they're planning on doing it during the day. So unless
Right.
all of a sudden the monsters can kind of come out during the day, I think the town will be safe. Unless they change up their plan and go into those caves at night when they're a little bit more empty, you know, try and lure the monsters out, which is going to be tough to do because the monsters kind of always seem to know what they're doing. So I think maybe their best chance is just going in there during the day while they're sleeping, while the monsters are unconscious, technically. That might be their best hope. So if that is the case, the town should be safe. But that certainly isn't still, you know, mean that Sophia couldn't still steal the talismans and then they'd be screwed later on at night. Maybe by the time the cave kind of company comes back to the town, it's dark and the town's massacred. That would be certainly very interesting. But if they're going to go during the day, hopefully the town will be okay. But again, I won't be surprised if something does happen with the talismans.
Yeah, I shared Boyd's apprehension about that plan because I mean, like he said, providing they could get all the way to the Chamber of Bones, you know, without waking the monsters, they have to go through all the trouble of either digging under or having enough people of enough strength, because you're not going to have like the Patties of the world, you know, trying to hoist these giant, you know, megaliths or whatever they are, you know,
Right.
to get to all 7 Ankui kid bones. So you're either digging or you're hoisting these things, and
that's the thing. It's a lot of bones to carry up a fucking rope, up a rope, up where a fucking faraway tree hole used to be. Like it's a lot of bones to carry up that rope. If they can even find all the bones, again, it's a very shoddy plan to say the least.
And it would be, I mean, there's still going to be dead, rotting corpses. That doesn't go away that quickly, even when they're reduced to bones. You know, like in the Cloaca Maximus in Rome, the sewer, it still smells like crap from the Roman time. Like when you're down in the archaeologists and stuff are down there, you know, going through the remains of the sewers, it still smells like poo. So these bones and stuff, I mean, I don't think in that environment that even if the bodies are reduced to bones, that it's going to be completely, you know, as clean as people think it is either.
Right.
But you know, who knows? You know, what they'll find. Who knows what they'll find? You know, because we're all going off of a vision. It's still
just going to say that.
Okay.
I was just going to say that we're all going off this like it's like an exact blueprint, which Jade believes it is. But yeah, I mean, he did see this in the middle of a mushroom trip at the end of the day. I mean, yes, I do get the feeling that the vision that he saw is probably most going to be accurate. But still, it's definitely something like, I mean, I understand why Boyd wanted a plan B at the very least. Like, it's just too risky to not have one.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Jade's plan does hinge on, and we mentioned this in the past as well. It hinges on a lot of things going exactly right.
A lot of things going right. From the tree getting ripped out at the right time, from them being able to block off the entrance, putting up a talisman so the monsters don't get into the chamber while they dig up the bones. Like there's so many moving parts to this plan for it to go right.
I literally put that too. I remember in the watch party, I was like, wow, that plan's got a lot of, you know, there's a lot of moving parts in this plan. And they all have to go right too. And I get Jade's perspective too. I mean, Boyd demanded a plan, and Jade came up with the best one he has, even though it is a little bit elaborate. And even if it's successful, even if the retrieval of the bones is successful, I don't think any of us believe that you know it's going to work how Jade thinks it is.
No.
This is Mida XOXOXO, it says, how does the spider fit in? But now it just made me think that if they're going to come down through the tree, maybe that would look like a spider to whoever is coming down. I don't know. If you're dropping someone down by a rope, that might look like a spider coming down from the ceiling.
Going right through the symbol where the children were sacrificed. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, who knows? Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, and again, the spider thing's also been another pretty popular fan theory that there's a lot of fans that are very much hoping, and some are even expecting to see some kind of giant spider at some point. And they have heavily foreshadowed a lot of spider activity on the show, so I can understand why people are hoping that that'll get paid off a little bigger. Yeah, I don't know. We shall see. But thank you, West to Westeros, for the $1.99, the $4.99, and the $1.99 again. Thank you very much, my friend. And I owe you a whoa. Okay, all right. Let me get through these last few. We got Mick Light from has never been good at showing their. I think this was earlier when we were talking about maybe the difference between showing the audience and telling the audience. Yeah, I mean, at times, I feel like they were a lot. If that's what you're referring to, if not, let me know. Clarify in the chat, and we'll discuss whatever you meant. But if that's what you're referring to, then yeah, I feel like at times they're pretty good at it, and at times not so much. In the earlier seasons. I feel like they did lean a little heavier on the visual aspect of storytelling, showing us a little bit more, as opposed to now that we're kind of getting a little bit more answers, they're relying a little bit more on the telling us, the exposition kind of answers.
Some of the scenes, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Like some of the ones I really liked were when some of the characters actually started with their own theories and kind of addressed some of the theories that the fandom had, which kind of told us that, I mean, you either think it's a red herring that they're mentioning it and then they're actually going to do it, or
it's a wink and a nod. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we saw that with Randall. We saw it with Jim. Marielle had a theory. I mean, a few people.
Boyd. I mean, how long have we been talking about them potentially trying to use the talismans to trap a monster inside something? We've seen that these talismans keep monsters out. And we as fans have been wondering for the longest time, is it even possible? Is there some kind of mechanism in which you can use these talismans to keep a monster in something? And after 3 years of fans discussing that, they threw it into the show, where all of a sudden we have Boyd asking that exact same question. Maybe we can use one of these things to trap one of them. So yeah, we've seen a lot of that kind of injected into the show in terms of what seems to be big fan theories that maybe get a wink and a nod, but the storylines don't actually go anywhere.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, and it is good because
it's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, they are either they're reading what the fans are saying, or they're anticipating that the fans will go in this direction. Because even at the very, in season 1, we always look at a new show in terms of the shows that we've seen in the past. It's natural, it's human, it's what you should do if you're trying to figure something out. You put it in relation to things that you've already experienced. So that's where we got stuff like the it's a simulation theory, it's a dream, it's a coma, it's this, and we had to one by one kind of dispel these things. It's aliens. I know that's Snug's favorite thing.
I'm still holding out on that one.
But I mean, we always look at a show in terms of things that we've done in the past, so it's just natural. And I think these writers are clever enough. I don't think it's nearly as deep as some of the theories want it to be, but I do think that they have enough screenwriting ability to anticipate that this is what we'll guess, and then at some point later down in season 3 we'll have a character like Randall think that maybe Donna's the mole and tie her to a tree. And test that hypothesis.
Well, that's where I wonder with the little monologuing that the man Yellow did. Maybe it's more than just a Bond villain type. Maybe it's pointing to more of like what's actually happening in the town. Is it a game? Is it a story that someone's telling? Is it something like that that's being hinted to with him saying that asking if she or pointing out that she doesn't recognize him yet. So
Well, I totally agree. And as disappointed as I was that he did just say, "I'm not going to kill you," and he just saunters back into the forest, it did lead me to think, well, maybe he literally can't. Maybe there's something about the rules of the game that he's playing.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what we were wondering as well. I mean, if Jade and Tabitha are these reincarnated characters that have this ability to get reincarnated, and they always get pulled back in here by the children, then what's to say that the children aren't protecting them in some small way? We know that From kind of sets up certain rules, right? We hear it from the creators, from the characters. There's rules to this place. We don't know the rules. One of the rules is the monsters only come out at night. That's one of the rules. Maybe another rule is, the man in yellow can't harm certain characters himself directly. And could Victor and Ethan even be among those kind of characters? I thought it was very interesting how the man in yellow or Sophia is slowly manipulating Henry into believing that he needs to sever whatever the tether is to this world so he can go live in the quote unquote real world, which we know is fake. And that is an awful lot like the man in yellow trying to get Henry to kill Victor. I mean, what else would be to his world if not Victor? I mean, could Tabitha be a tether to his world because he entered Fromville with Tabitha? So she's the only other character I could possibly think could be a potential anchor. But Victor seems to be the obvious one there. But either or, that kind of that tells me that the man in yellow can't harm these characters himself.
Right. And all of the Jade reincarnations all died by the hands of the townsfolk.
By the hands of the town, never by monsters, never by the man in yellow. Yep.
Right. And that is, I mean, and I won't call it scrounging, but I'm looking for additional data points. And between Sophia essentially casting a spell, her using words and sometimes using the egg as a physical component to her spell casting, it kind of it very firmly set in my mind that we know now that the man in yellow isn't the big bad. He is really an agent of what I guess we could call the entity, because he's drawing on some power greater than him, or Sophia is drawing on a power greater than herself to enact. I
took that as giving orders to the egg and then to Roger, as opposed to a spell that she was giving it orders.
Well, I kind of saw it more
either way.
No, I could totally see it being either way, but I kind of saw it as a spell. But I seeing it as a spell for me doesn't necessarily mean that there's something above her. I guess, the creators did kind of come out and kind of say that the man in yellow was the main antagonist. So if there is something above him, I guess I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, it's not like the writers are going to come out and just spoil everything that they have coming down the line. So if there is something above the man in yellow, it wouldn't be too much of a shock. I mean, hell, I even did a theory video on it in terms of Jade kind of, I think Jade pulling this faraway tree out is going to be a massive fucking mistake. And I think it's going to create hell on Fromville. And I think we get a little bit of a hint of that from the man in yellow. When he tells Tabitha here, he's like, you may have finally found that one thing that can set those children free to get your own free home. Or you're about to unleash a type of suffering of which you can't even imagine. And I don't think the suffering that's going to get unleashed has anything to do with actually removing the bones themselves, like he said. I think he knows the method that Jade is going to use to remove the bones, which is, of course, removing the faraway tree. I think if Jade pulls that faraway tree out by the roots and all, there is going to be a devastating consequence, a devastating price that they are going to have to pay for these bones if Jade does actually pull that tree out of the ground. And if we look at the title for episode 10, it is called When a Tree Falls in the Forest. That is the title of episode 10. So if Jade does successfully pull this thing out of the ground, I think that at the very least, there's going to be a huge consequence on the town of Fromville itself, maybe another storm coming, maybe the calm before. the title for episode 9, The Calm Before, is literally referring to the calm before the storm, the actual storm that is coming in episode 10, not just the metaphorical storm in terms of the story reaching its climax, but actually another storm like we saw in season 1. And could that be the price that they're going to have to pay for removing this faraway tree? Or even worse, could we find out the faraway trees are going to be, or would have been, much more important than we realized? I always thought that the faraway trees are going to have a larger purpose other than just, kind of moving people from place to place, really not too much kind of stakes. Right. The only time it was ever really used for anything of substance is when Tabitha used it to go to the lighthouse. But part of me always wondered, since these trees were created by the children, once the children are successfully saved, once the children, whatever that is, whatever they have to do to save the children, part of me always thought that the faraway trees are going to be the ultimate exit out of Fromville. Like once they finally save the children, because it seems like the children are pulling people in here. That was one thing we kind of got confirmed this season. It's been the children that have been calling to all these Jades, the children that have been calling to all these Tabithas, and all these other people have been getting pulled in with them. So I think once you save them, obviously there's no point for the children to hold on to these people anymore. So I wouldn't be too surprised if the faraway trees are the ultimate exit out of Fromville once the children are saved. And if Jade goes and yanks it out, is he closing what would have been their ultimate exit? Or worse, is pulling this tree out of the ground going to unleash something that is above the man in yellow, something even worse, something that the children might have locked up during the sacrifice?
Well, I'd say they hinted at it, but Kenny flat out said, he goes, the town's going to push back. He flat out said it. And I think Xavier Anderson really put his finger on exactly how I feel. The town is the big bad, and the man in yellow is allowed to function within it.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of felt about it.
Has a living sentience to it, almost, is what it feels like.
That's how I feel. Now, I could be completely wrong, and it could be the man in yellow. I mean, as far as a physical antagonist, I absolutely believe he's the biggest one that we're going to see. But I do think there's something. It's like I know I always go back to Lord of the Rings, but it's like when Sauron isn't in physical form, but he's still the big bad. But all the even super powerful antagonists in physical form still exists within that world,
like
but there's still something above. But there's still something above.
The man in white, the man in yellow is the Saruman of Fromville, and maybe Sauron is still out there. Maybe Sauron is the town, and that's one thing I've always really enjoyed: the idea of Fromville being alive in a sense, the idea of Fromville having its own sentience, its own consciousness in a sense. I always thought that'd be an awesome idea. And I could totally see that being the ultimate kind of answer here, where maybe the man in yellow is the biggest physical protagonist they'll face. But their biggest challenge is getting out of the actual town itself.
Right. And that's something we've talked about too. Like
we've talked about that so many times. Yeah.
And once they do finally solve the question of how to get out, does Fromville just cease to be entirely? Is it completely just disintegrated, or just completely obliterated, no longer being like it, the whatever it is that ties the people to Fromville is also what keeps the entity, such as it is, in place and
at bay, the children essentially.
Right.
All right, let's breathe through some of these. We got a few more piling up, and thank you again, West of Westeros, for $1.99, and for another $9.99. Thank you so much. Does no one want to talk about how Boyd was chill about his room getting ransacked? I'm not over it. I mean, you do have a good point, West of Westeros. I mean, Boyd walks in, he sees his whole room is fucking tore up. And he seems a little more concerned with where the yellow suit went than actually like being pissed that somebody was in his fucking room. Somebody was in his office. I mean, look at here. We see here the clothes are still all out of his fucking drawers and shit. Like, she didn't put anything back. She didn't even try to hide the fucking fact that she was in there.
Well, she made it worse, I think.
Made it way fucking worse.
Yeah.
So no, you have a good point, West of Westeros. I mean, Boyd was pretty chill about it.
Especially knowing what the suit was. It's like, why would someone steal the suit?
And I love Boyd's answer. I don't know. Maybe the guy that it belonged to was tired of walking around the woods naked. And yeah, maybe he doesn't know how right he was. He doesn't know how close to being right he was, I guess we should say. But yeah, could be, he was certainly very chill about his room being ransacked. And also, so yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe this is the more cool, calm, and collected Boyd. And another 99 from West to Westeros. Thank you so much. Trees are moving. People are not informed. Characters are about to experience that ish. Yeah, I don't think any of the characters actually know about the trees moving. I'm pretty sure only Victor and Ethan know about that. So yeah, and again, could that they share a little more information? Absolutely. I think that's been a criticism that the show has been receiving from the very beginning. And I think they went you can tell that they at least made an attempt in season 4 to kind of combat that, to try and fix that a little bit, where we have Boyd and his inner circle, and they're kind of working together for the first time. They're sharing information. So you can definitely see that they're starting to share again. But yeah, in terms of like the trees actually moving, I'm pretty sure only Victor and Ethan know about that. Maybe Tabitha, because I know when Tabitha and Victor went out to the faraway tree for the first time, Victor was like, wondering if it moved. But yeah, most of our characters are not informed. This is very true. This is very true.
Well, if it moves, then that means that they're not necessarily it's not necessarily above the chamber.
That's a good point. I mean, if these trees, like even, Victor measured a few inches of them moving, but, who knows how much they would have moved over the course of centuries. So that's actually a really good point. I mean, just because this tree was above the chamber at one point, what's to say it still is? I mean, they're literally setting up from the very beginning that this freaking forest moves. So that is a good point, Snug, if nothing else. That is a good point.
Imagine, pulling out a tree and there's nothing.
There's just nothing there. Yeah, they just fucking pulled out the tree and doomed themselves for absolutely fucking nothing but kiss. That'd be bad. That would be bad. But thank you so much, West to Westeros, my friend, and I owe you another whoa. Awesome. All right, we got Katrina Marie for $4.99. Thank you so much, Katrina Marie. Imagine we all just spent over a year going, who the F is the man in yellow? Now we go on another year still going, okay, who the fuck is the man in yellow? And again, this is, I think that just me, myself personally, I can only speak for myself. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions in the chat and you guys as well on the panel. But for me, heading into season 4 before it started, that was one of the biggest things I was looking forward to. I could not wait to find out the true origin of the man in yellow. And maybe we will still get it. I do still have 2 episodes left, but I thought for sure that we would have gotten a true origin for the man in yellow. I was hoping we were going to get it probably midway through the season. But then again, I had a much different man in yellow kind of arc in mind that we were going to see in season 4 than what we got. We got a curveball where we didn't even really get the man in yellow. We got fucking Sophia. So for me, like I was envisioning a totally different storyline with the man in yellow. And yeah, I was hoping that his origin was going to be included in that. And again, maybe it still will be. We do have 2 episodes left, but yeah, I mean, we still have no idea who the man in yellow is.
Yeah, and we've seen 2 wildly different versions of him too, because when Julie was story walking, he looked absolutely feral. I mean, he was in a feed. Yeah, he was in a feed, and he wasn't messing around. He was running at her. He wasn't being glib and making jokes. Yeah,
no quippy one-liner. I'm just going for you.
It was like, wow, okay, so I want to see that. I want to see what makes him that way versus the quippy one-liner version that we get when he's dealing with like Jim and Tabby and whatever. It was kind of weird that they used, they used Thomas, the phone call from Thomas to get Tabby out to the RV. Yeah, it was like, if you don't come out to the RV immediately, I'm going to hurt Ethan and Julie. It's like, really? And she's not going to mention it to anybody. Hey, Boyd, I got a weird phone call, and they told me to go out. Just go out immediately.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. She it looks like she tells Boyd after she gets back instead of telling him before she freaking went. So yeah, that's a good point. But no, I mean, as Katrina Marie alluded to, I really do hope that we find out some kind of origin for the Man in Yellow this season. Because again, that was one of the things that me personally, I was very much looking forward to finding out more about this character. Like they introduced such an intriguing character at the end of season 3 with this Man in Yellow. And I just could not wait to see where they were going to go with him next. And yeah, it was a little disappointing to see where they actually did go with him next. But hopefully we can still get a nice origin story and find out who he really is. There's a lot of good theories going around out there in terms of who the Man in Yellow is. I mean, we've discussed most of them. You know, is he the actual entity that offered the parents this deal in the first place? Or is he not? Did something else offer that deal? Is there a reason why the story is having Fatima having trouble remembering who brought the parents this deal? Is she not remembering because we're going to find out that it wasn't the Man in Yellow? Maybe. Why else give Fatima that storyline of not remembering? I mean, at this point, the audience is assuming it was mostly likely the Man in Yellow. So if it's not the Man in Yellow, that's kind of the only reason you would give Fatima a storyline like that. But then again, who knows what they're really planning? Who exactly was he? Where did he come from? Is he some kind of, it seems like he is very adept at some kind of magic, using spells and stuff like that. But he can also bleed, which was one thing that was very interesting. So for me, he does look a little less like the kind of cosmic entity that I originally thought he might be when he first popped up in season 3. He seems a little closer to, not human, of course, but definitely not like this deity-like level that I was wondering that he might be at first. But I don't know. Who could the Man in Yellow be? There's a lot of theories going around. I mean, could he have been the original Jade, people are saying? Could he have been the original Tabitha's father? That's one theory that's going around. Part of me was wondering if he could actually be a nightmare, an actual nightmare that was manifested from someone dying here. Maybe even the nightmare of the original Tabitha. One thing I thought was pretty interesting is how he tells Tabitha in this episode, no, I wouldn't kill you. I wouldn't dream of killing you. You're the closest thing to a friend I've ever had. And that made me wonder, like, what is this connection? And the first thing the Man in Yellow says to Tabitha is, you don't remember who I am yet. So there's a deeper connection there that has yet to be, revealed yet. So I always wondered, could the Man in Yellow have been the nightmare of the original Tabitha? And what did most people fear back then? When the original Tabitha was alive, centuries ago, what did most people fear? Witches. Witches were a huge fear back then. It was witch hysteria back then. But that's more of a tinfoil theory than anything. I get a feeling the Man in Yellow is going to be something that hopefully none of us guessed. But I always wondered if he could have been some kind of nightmare that was manifested here.
Maybe she was afraid of Curious George.
Yeah, maybe she's afraid of teenage Bible
salesmen. Yeah. Didn't Harold Perrineau said that have a quote, or he was in some video where he said that it was the Man in Yellow was going to be something that we didn't expect.
He says, I don't know if maybe I just didn't see that one, but I remember him saying something that this Man in Yellow is dark, like this Man in Yellow gots to go. Like I remember him saying that in one of the interviews, like we really got to get rid of this Man in Yellow. So that does allude that he's going to be something pretty nasty, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they do have a lot to, and I have actually kind of enjoyed the connection that he insinuated with Tabitha, and I do want to see how that pans out, and I fully expect them to pay that off. They kind of have to, the same way as he's done with Julie when she's story walking, where he's like, where did you come from? When did you come from this time? So so that tells me that there's more than just that single instance of Julie story walking to the 78 massacre time, and then the another time. So he's obviously aware of the other instances where he's encountered Tabitha and where he's encountered Julie. So I do want to see more of that, and I don't expect to see that this season for some reason. I think that'll be something that they that seems like it'll be a little more in depth or a little more talky, that they'll be using probably in season 5 at some point. But I do want to see that paid off. And I fully believe that they kind of have to. They can't not.
Well, the story walking is something that I wish they would have done more with. I mean, we haven't heard of. what was the last episode that was in? Maybe 4 or something.
A
It's like
lot
all,
of
a lot of the filler that they've had seemed like it could have been replaced by
Julie story
Julie
walking more.
bouncing different places and time
Mhm.
and experiences in different parts of the from history. That
Yeah.
would have been a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I think the Julie and Randall storyline in season 4 was actually one of the more interesting ones
Yeah.
for me. Like I've actually been enjoying Julie's storyline. Her and Randall try to kind of tackle this story walking ability and see if they can ever get some kind of handle on it. I feel like the season started off really well with Julie's character arc. With her starting off just barely knowing how to use this, practicing with it more and more, trying new things like the bookmark kind of, attempt that she made. Like she was really, really going for it. Like her character was really heading in a good pace and in a good direction. And then right around midway through the season, it seems like as soon as those bookmarks didn't work, she became pretty discouraged. And then we saw her have that, kind of argument that with Randall in the medical clinic when Sophia is kind of like spying on them. And we see Julie and Randall kind of yelling at each other. Randall's telling her, like, you're going to get yourself killed. You can't keep doing this. And again, I have to imagine there's going to be some kind of cost to Julie story walking at, over a long period of time. Every time she story walks, she's essentially having a seizure. She's seizing on the ground. Yes, it is a kind of magical ability, but she is still a physical human being. Having that many seizures, that is definitely, I have to imagine it's going to have some type of adverse effect on her over a long period of time. Her continuously having these kind of seizure-like episodes. Eventually, that's going to, pay some kind of cost, I think. So she needs to be careful on one hand, but it just seemed like she became pretty discouraged after the bookmarks failing. After the argument with Randall, it just seems like she's kind of almost given up to the point where she's kind of just moping around now, just, getting high behind her house and even telling Tabitha and Ethan, oh, Ethan, don't listen to it. None of it's real. None of this is real. Everything that Tabitha's telling her. Julie just seems kind of defeated at the moment. And I think she needs something to kind of pick her up a little bit, something to get her back into the game. And PM and I were wondering the other week that maybe the idea or maybe the possibility of Ethan being left here alone one day, even if it is a slight possibility, it's still a possibility. And you're right, Raver. Tabitha can't just go around saying you're never going to be here alone because you don't know that, Tabitha. You can't ultimately control that if you end up dying here, just like Jim died here. You think Jim ever thought he was going to leave his family alone here? Of course he fucking didn't. But he got killed because it's a dangerous fucking place. So I was always wondering, and we were wondering last week if that could maybe be the thing that kind of gets Julie back into the game. The thought of her brother being alone here for decades and turning into Victor, could that be the motivation to get her off the bench? I think it could be, but again, she still seems to be just kind of moping around, and she hasn't really heard too much about the whole Ethan Victor thing yet. So maybe she will when she hears about it.
Yeah, and she did get like completely blackpilled on after her bookmark.
She was completely over it.
Yeah, and she's kind of in that form now where she just thinks that everything supernatural is just the town messing with them, giving them false hope. And
exactly.
She has to get back. She does that. I mean, that's way too powerful of an ability to just abandon completely. And I think you may be right. They do have to bring it back into play. And I think you may be right. A threat to Ethan may be exactly what's needed to get her back in the saddle, or at least open her mind to doing it. And and we had very strong reservations about time travel. Like introducing time travel at a late point into the show, which is an incredibly overpowered ability, but they've done it really well, I thought. And having her meet with failure immediately and not immediately, have complete mastery of that ability, that's super cool. Again, though, like when you're learning a skill or something like that, when they're introducing how she's learning it, that burns a lot of screen time. Although that would be one area that I don't mind them actually burning some screen time.
That's character progression. That's plot progression. That's the stuff you want to see in storytelling. That's not wasted screen time at all.
Yeah, I felt like they spent a lot of time on Jade suddenly remembering that there was the exit above. That was the first thing. Like, I think everybody that was watching in the watch party was like, what about the roots above? What about the roots above?
As soon as you hear Boyd say there's only one exit, there's only one entrance and one exit, it's like, wait a minute, there's a giant fucking exit right above it.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, it's like for someone that's such a genius like Jade, it's like you didn't stop and think that maybe you could just dig a hole right next to the fucking faraway tree and get into the chamber that way. It's not like we haven't seen a character already do this exact thing once before. It's not like Tabitha didn't dig her fucking way literally into the caves at the end of season 1. So we know it is possible. So yeah, these lapses in logic every once in a while, sometimes I guess you just have to suspend your disbelief. But for someone as smart as Jade, yeah, you'd think these things would occur to him.
Yeah.
But but again, I think at the end of the day, Xavier Anderson has it right more than any of us. The wig is ultimately the bookmark.
I love that. That's great.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, that was fun. That one was fun. But thank you so much again, Katrina Marie, for the 2 $4.99s. Very much appreciate it. But we also have this one as well. Destroy the tree. Oh, you mean the only time the boy in white has ever raised his voice at anyone? Again, yes, very a good point. We see last time Victor took an axe to the tree, the boy in white showed up and had the closest thing you could describe to as a crash out that the boy in white has ever had. Because he's usually super calm and quiet, and his demeanor is very kind of docile. But when he showed up to tell Victor to stop chopping that tree down, he looked angry. You see his fists, his hands are balled up in a fist when he's talking to Victor. This is something that angered him almost. And then, you kind of see him kind of in the trailer for episode 9 popping up again. You know what they're getting ready to do. So again, I think we're very much going to see the boy in white appear to Victor and try to get Victor to stop Jade from pulling out that tree. Because the boy in white did say that it is important when Victor tried to cut it down. Yes, it looks like things might have changed a little bit from now until then, because when we saw Tabitha ask the boy in white directly about the tree again, it seems like he wasn't sure that it would take her to the lighthouse again. He said, "I don't think so," in fact. So that makes me wonder if the boy in white has lost a little bit of his abilities, maybe, if he doesn't have the same kind of control over the faraway trees as he used to, maybe. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to still be very important. So I do think we're going to see him try to stop Jade from cutting them down. But we're going to get into all that when we dive into the episode 9 trailer. I'll play it here in a second. But yeah, that's pretty much the only time we see the boy in white have these mini crash outs.
Yep. And he could actually help himself by being a little more helpful, or
a little more forthcoming. Yeah. just a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Probably against the rules, I guess, for whatever the town is.
Well, I mean, I feel like they tried to give us not tried. They gave us an answer as to why he's not super forthcoming, but it wasn't really a good answer, in my opinion. When we hear the boy in white say to Victor, when Victor was trying to chop that tree down, actually, that very same scene, when Victor was telling him, Victor was telling the boy in white, "Tell me how to save them. Tell me what to do. How do I help them?" And the boy in white says, "I tried that once before with Christopher, and it didn't go well, it seems." And it seems like maybe that interaction he had with Christopher, telling Christopher everything and Christopher rejecting it, seems to be the reason they're giving us as to why the boy in white isn't being more forthcoming now. He straight up tells them, "You need to figure it out yourselves. It's the only way." But again, I feel like it's not a great answer.
It's convenient to the plot.
Cycle. The man in yellow is showing up and straight up confirms in this episode that this Jade and this Tabitha, they're doing things that none of the previous incarnations have ever done. And that definitely tells me that they're getting further than any of the previous incarnations have ever gotten to actually solving this. So if there was ever a fucking cycle, if there was ever a group of people that the boy in white should be forthcoming with, it's this one. It's the one that has gotten further than any other fucking cycle before them.
No, they have to spend half of every dialogue asking him why he looks different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just. But again, I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to get from the boy. Well, I don't even like calling him the boy in white anymore. Wait till you see what he looks like in the episode 9 trailer. We thought he looked older last year. We thought he looked older a few episodes ago. I think he showed up in episode 3 when he and Tabitha were talking at the faraway tree. Wait till you see him in this episode 9 trailer. He looks like he's aged 2 fucking years since that episode. I'm telling you, he's going to be popping. He's going to have a beard, and he's going to be, taking his first beer at the fucking Fromville bar pretty soon. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see what's going to happen with the boy in white and with this tree. But I will play the episode 9 trailer here. We'll take a look at it, and I want to get everybody's thoughts and opinions on it. But first, thank you so much, Katrina Marie, and I owe you hello. Oh, all right. Let me pull this up. We will take a look at the episode 9 trailer because, again, it's no longer the boy in white. I've been calling him the teenager in white. I just feel like it's more fitting for, he's boy no longer, unfortunately. This is not a boy in white. And, again, they gave us an explanation as to why the boy in white is aging, but I almost feel like they should have just recast him at that point. They probably should have just recast the role. I think it would have been simpler overall continuity-wise than this.
I kind of like it, though. I kind of like it that they kept him.
I guess it's kind of interesting.
Because it shows that things are changing, so he's no longer a boy.
True.
So
and one thing we have seen from the Man in Yellow, it seems like the Man in Yellow also ages, or at least did at one point. When we see the first painting of the Man in Yellow in Miranda's basement, the vision she seemed to have of him was a vision of him when he was way younger. He had dark brown hair. His suit was much cleaner. Like, he looked visibly a lot younger. And then when he shows up on the show, we see he looks a lot older. So yeah, definitely some aging going on there.
I mean, well, look at Jade in the course of 30 days. I mean, he arrived. He looked like Hans Gruber,
Chewbacca. Jade has turned into Chewie. Jade reminds me of Daryl from The Walking Dead, where every season his hair just gets fucking longer and longer and longer and longer, and you're just like screaming at. Well, with Jade's, it's not as bad as The Walking Dead. Like with Daryl's hair just getting longer and longer every season, it didn't just get longer and longer. It got rattier and rattier and more disgusting every season, to the point where it just looked like a nasty, greasy mess, which it was, because that was Norman Reedus's real hair. Like, he was under contract. He couldn't cut his hair during that show. And it just started looking rattier and rattier, at least with Jade. Like, he's got good hair. He's got, like, nice, curly, good-looking hair. Even though it's getting long and crazy, it still looks a lot better than poor fucking Norman Reedus on The Walking Dead, walking around with that fucking nasty mop on his head. But all right, here we go, folks. The trailer for episode 9, which is entitled The Calm Before.
Do you know who I really am? Maybe if you look closer. Oh, God.
The guy in the yellow suit, he's back. When the sun comes up tomorrow, I want to be ready to put shovels in the ground. Getting those bones. What do you want?
You know what the others are doing?
Hey, buddy. Hey, Victor, come on. Hey, no.
Do you like games? I love them. I'm playing so many right now.
Oof. Do you like games? I'm playing so many right now. Here he is. I mean, this kid's looking like he's getting ready for college. That is this is the boy in white no more. This is the teenager in white, the young adult in white, more like it.
Wolf Spear said he has a 770 credit score and pays taxes.
You know what? You know where the boy in white belongs? You ever see those commercials where it's those credit card commercials where it's like, don't become your parents, like where you're becoming your parents. You have like people acting like super fucking old, like they're turning into their parents. Mm-hmm. He would be perfect in a fucking commercial like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he doesn't have shorts, right? Is it he has actual
it's hard to tell. I think they're shorts. I think we just can't see the bottom of them here. But who knows? Unless he changed his getup.
Yeah, he's like the Man in Yellow, except every time he opens a suitcase, it's just another set of white.
He's starting a cryptocurrency with his dad's money. Yeah. Yeah, he's investing stocks with the family portfolio. He's trading on Wall Street as we fucking speak.
What's with
Yeah,
his the way he's standing? So he's standing behind a tree with yellowing leaves.
yeah.
I always still feel like there's something to the colors here, but that's a weird way to have him positioned to be telling them whatever he's going to tell them.
He's creeping, like he's
Yeah.
totally just like creeping, lying. I bet you he was just sitting here lying in wait, waiting for Victor to fucking walk by, and then he pops out. Got some of them for pulling out the tree. He's just creepy, kind of just standing in the woods there. Fucking, I don't know. But it was fun. He's definitely aged quite a lot.
Yeah,
Quite
two scenes in that trailer of Clara and Sophia, and in two different settings. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, come on, that's gonna be I'm gonna get a little bit of Clara overload, I think.
Yeah, maybe it looks like it. Yeah, and people have been wondering where Clara has been. Clara has been suspiciously missing from like the previous 2 or 3 episodes. There's been no Clara sightings. People have been wondering, and now, yeah, it looks like we're gonna get a Clara heavy episode. And then Julie as well. I know a lot of people have been wondering about Julie. Not only has she not been story walking for a while, but I don't think Julie was even in the last episode at all.
So no,
I don't even think she had a single scene. I don't think she appeared.
No. Even Sarah, so obviously their painting is done because Sarah was out and about, but Julie still she wherever she went to smoke her wacky tobacco,
Yeah.
she's still out there.
Yeah, he might have to change. Yeah, if he's outgrowing the clothes, he actually might have to change. Yeah, does the boy in white have maybe he just had a pair of fucking white pants just lying around, maybe? But yeah, I mean, if he's outgrowing the clothes, then yeah, he's gonna have to fucking change. Oh shit, hilarious, absolutely hilarious. All right, let me get through these last 3 here. We got West of Westeros for $1.99. Thank you so much, West of Westeros. Very, very much appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Let's see what else we got here. We got McLight45. Miniel didn't say anything about the tree. He mentioned the bones. There's no proof he knows about the plan to move the tree. He didn't hear that part. Yeah, I mean, this is the man in yellow we're talking about. I mean, he tends to kind of know things that he maybe shouldn't know. Like when we look back at Sophia, she's standing all the way at the pool. There's no possible way she could have known whether or not Sarah really kind of poured that drink into the pitcher. Yet, for some reason, she knew Sarah didn't do it. So, I mean, it hasn't really quite been explained yet, but it seems like the man in yellow was pretty good at getting information. I wouldn't be too surprised at all if he knew exactly what Jade was planning. I mean, he knows, seems to know everything else. So when I hear him talking about, removing the bones, I just me personally, I just don't think he's referring to the bones. I think he knows exactly what Jade's planning, and I think the man in yellow knows if that tree comes out, something bad's going to happen.
Maybe the jukeboxes. Maybe they can monitor through the jukeboxes.
Oh yeah.
Who knows? That's one thing that does still need to get explained. How the monsters know everything. How the man in yellow gets these entities, these creatures know things that aren't humanly possible of knowing. So there has to be some level of supernatural element to it.
Yeah, remember that little hint that the From account. Remember, I know I'm going to botch it, but they were talking about how they were able to do something with Sarah. I think early on in season 1, from quote so far away, and the official From account said who said they were far away or something, meaning that there might have been somebody in the diner. I wonder if.
Well, there's a drawing or two with an eye in the sky, so something can monitor pretty much everything that's going on. Because you had the man in yellow, asked Jim about his wife digging the hole, and I'm not sure if everyone knew that was the case.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure the only ones who knew that Tabitha was digging that hole was her, with her and her family, her, Jim, Julie, and Ethan. I'm pretty sure the only ones that knew. So yeah, I mean, there seems to be a pattern of the monsters and potentially the man in yellow knowing things that they shouldn't know, or things that they need to explain how they know. But yeah, here's the little eye in the sky. A lot of people think that this might be a reference to the Lake of Tears, an actual eye crying into a lake of tears, literally. But yeah, who knows? Who knows what's really going on? Again, all we can really do is theorize on certain things. Some theories will be right, some theories will be wrong, and that's the fun of it. That is the fun of it. And we got West of Westeros for $9.99. So I'm a nobody. You, West of Westeros, absolutely not. You are far from a nobody, my friend. And I hope your cat is doing well and is still recovering smooth, very smooth and swimmingly. Our friend West of Westeros' cat had a pretty serious surgery a few weeks ago. But, we're glad the cat pulled through. But no, West of Westeros, you are an awesome individual. You'll never be a nobody on this channel, my friend. You will always be a pal. Always be a pal. And I owe you a whoa.
And I do understand that Archie is back to being
Archie.
Yeah.
Archie's bouncing back. Love it. Good old Archie. But yeah, I mean, nobody will ever be a nobody in this chat. You guys are all fucking aces as far as I'm concerned. I love talking with all you guys. And I've learned a ton from you guys too. And that's one thing I always say. Like every time we do one of these streams or we get into the weeds on a show or another topic, I'm always learning something from you guys in the chat. So no, you guys are fucking rock stars, each and every one of you. And we're grateful, super grateful that anybody chooses to come and hang out here for a little bit. Anybody at all. Everybody's welcome, that's for sure. But thank you so much, West of Westeros. Very much appreciate you, my friend. Very much appreciate you. Talismans are a big manipulation. They are clues. Yeah, again, there's been a lot of interesting theories about the talismans. Sophia doing something with the talismans has been a huge theory that we've been getting tons of comments about that. Pretty much all season, there's been a lot of theories about Sophia doing something with the talismans at some point. But I guess my question to you guys in the chat and you guys on the panel, we are heading into, again, final 2 episodes here. We are at the official home stretch. This is it, the beginning of the end. After this, there is only 1 season left, and then From is over. So now that we are heading into episode 9, do you think episode 9 is going to be the episode where Sophia finally gets discovered? Or reveals herself?
Yeah, you first, Nugs. I'll defer to you.
Yes. I actually almost wonder whether, well, no, I don't know whether she would take what's her name's identity, Clara's identity, as part of that.
Steal Clara's skin. Oh, that'd be funny.
Maybe, I don't know, but I'd say that I'm going to say yes.
Okay. What about you, Raven? Is she getting discovered in episode 9, or is she revealing herself in episode 9?
You know what? Just for the sake of argument, I will say no. She is sitting there talking with, I was laughing about the man in yellow going full Bond villain, explaining, telling his, I'm not going to kill you now, but I'm going to kill you later. And now she's telling Clara, potentially, I don't know exactly, the nature of it. I've literally only just seen that trailer, but she's saying, she's saying like, who I am or something. Look in my eyes. And then Clara has that look of realization. I don't know why. We don't know how long Clara's been there. We have no indication how long she's been there. What exactly Clara knows or why she would know anything about the man in yellow or Sophia. But then later when she's sitting there talking about, I'm playing so many games right now, she's pretty much explaining her schemes and stuff. So that, I don't see Clara getting out of that, whether Sophia assumes Clara's form or if that's even something that she can do. Right now we don't really know what forms the man in yellow,
how she turns into other people, who she can turn into, what's required. We just don't know.
Well, maybe it's a rug pull and Sophia pulls out a game of Monopoly for them to play.
That's it. Or an even crazier rug pull where Sophia pulls out like a 12 gauge shotgun and just fucking ends her. Or even funnier, if Clara pulls out a 12 gauge shotgun and ends Sophia, that'd be funnier.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how they're going to play it, because right now, Sophia isn't there. It's Man in Yellow who's walking back from the forest, so he's got to strip down, hide his suit again, go back into. I mean, presumably he stashed his Sophia
Well-
dress, and will be walking back into town in Sophia form. But yeah, I mean, maybe he is just going to hide his suit in the forest again, in a cubby hole.
It looks like he does, because it looks like in the trailer for episode 9, we see him turning from the Man in Yellow potentially back into Sophia right here.
I missed that. I didn't even see what that was. I didn't. Yeah, it's his back, huh?
Yeah, that's his back right there, and that's definitely him in the Man in Yellow form. So I have to imagine, yeah, this is probably him turning back into Sophia just after he left Tabitha potentially.
Okay. Well, yeah, at least they're not making a huge time jump or making us assume things.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, but in terms of Sophia getting discovered, I really hope that it does happen in this episode. I feel like the Sophia undercover storyline has dragged on a little too long as is. I haven't been the biggest fan of the storyline from the very beginning. I feel like there's with so many different directions they could have gone. But this is the direction they chose, and they must have done that for a reason. And I am looking forward to seeing the rest of the story. I want to see, what is their vision, what is their plan for the character ultimately. But yeah, at some point she needs to get discovered. So I do hope it happens in episode 9. That way, when we head into episode 10, the finale, lines are clearly drawn at that point. Like we know exactly what we're up against. They know exactly what they're up against. And again, it just makes for a more fitting kind of final stand heading into that final episode. So I do hope that she gets discovered in episode 9. But what do you guys think in the chat? Is episode 9 going to be the episode where Sophia gets either discovered by the town or just straight up reveals herself? Is this going to be the episode where they find out who Sophia really is?
Jerry Rodriguez has some good questions relating to that. She's revealing herself. Clara's look suggests that, but why reveal to her just to kill her? That's true. I mean, that would
there's gonna be something going on here. Yeah.
But what is Clara going to do with that information? So that's true. She's gonna. Yeah. Is it time for her to reveal herself? I mean, is her game? I mean, I know like story wise and patience wise, yes, but like in her grand scheme, is it that point in her manipulations? Because I would have thought that. I mean, if her favorite part is watching the town tear itself apart, I think she's planted some seeds, and some things have started along the way, but she's hardly
not nearly there yet.
Yeah,
we're not at massacre or slaughter Jade level yet. That's for sure.
Right, she's still working Henry pretty hard,
and she hasn't done anything with Sarah either. Yeah, I kind of expected her to have Sarah do something after the water thing,
after
but she
the
hasn't done
water
anything.
pool incident. Yeah, she hasn't kind of tugged back on that either. Yeah, and again, maybe we will see all of these things happen in these final 2 episodes. But no, for just me personally, I do hope this is the episode where she does get discovered. I think we need to get to a point where, again, clear lines are drawn. The characters need to know exactly who and what they're up against. They need to know the full extent of the antagonist that they're up against. Otherwise, they'll never have a hope of defeating him, just narrative and writing wise. So I do think it's time. Will it be this episode? I don't know, but I do hope that it is this episode.
Oh, yeah. Then there's the theory that Claire is the mole. And she, everybody thought Clara was a mole because she tended to pop up again and again. Maybe they're, in cahoots. Maybe
based on the comments I'm getting, it seems like a ton of people think Clara is Eloise.
Oh, really?
But how? That doesn't make sense.
Not nearly as old.
I don't think she's nearly old enough. Yeah. And I think if you were to have some kind of crazy reveal where Clara was really Eloise, you better have a really good explanation as to where she's been, what happened, how she's here, how she doesn't know she's Eloise, or has she just been pretending this whole, it just gets so convoluted at that point. So I just don't think that's possible. And again, she's nowhere near as old. But that was something that we were getting tons of comments on, that people think Clara is really Eloise, maybe.
If it was Donna in this.
Who knows what's possible? I suppose anything is possible, but I think it's a little unlikely.
Yeah, if it was Donna in this, then that would make more sense.
Someone Donna's age even would make a little more sense, but I just think she's a little too young to be Clara. And then some people were wondering if she's the reincarnation of Eloise, which again, No idea. We have no idea which characters can even be reincarnated. It seems like it might only be Jade and Tabitha that get reincarnated, but
It
other
seems like they
characters
applaud that,
follow similar kind of similar character types kind of follow in each cycle. Not exactly reincarnations, but similar character arcs, like Victor and Ethan. Not necessarily reincarnations of each other, but very similar roles. Both the son of Tabitha or
Right, yeah. That'd be harsh being a reincarnation of somebody who isn't even dead.
Exactly.
That's a mind blowing. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's interesting though. Hey, did her eye heal? Because she'd been.
Yeah, I
walking
think
around
so.
with
No, she's got a. You can barely see it, but you can see she's got a little bit of just a little bit of a scar. Not too
okay.
much, just a tiny little scar here. So it looks like the eye is healing up rather nicely. Our pal Clara. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people are excited to see Clara again. Again, Clara seems to have a pretty big fucking fan base, believe it or not. Like, again, so many comments I've been getting about people being excited to see fucking Clara. Not seeing her for 2 or 3 episodes has made people a little like, what the fuck? Where's Clara? So,
That's how I felt about Dale. That's how I felt about Dale.
Yeah. Dale's missed at times. I mean, Dale's comedic levity is missed at times. I feel like he was a really good source of, comedy and levity in the show every once in a while.
Just a shitster. I loved when they were all getting ready to go carry vegetables, and he was just sitting on the porch, like munching on a carrot or whatever he was doing, watching people work, and he's sitting there just, nibbling, making little comments. I was like, oh man, rest in peace.
Let's see what else we got. Scrolling down. Hey, that Sophia song, the Sophia theme is terrible. Oof. Yeah, again, I mean, one thing about From, I think music's usually pretty good. I usually do enjoy the music and the score for the most part. Every once in a while there'll be something that maybe doesn't fit, but we've been pretty decent there, I think.
What's the Sophia song?
Just the theme song, like it's that weird little tune that they kind of play once in a while when she's on screen. I think he's.
I don't think I've ever noticed it. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. That she has a trademark.
Yeah.
Tune.
I don't even know if it's really a trademark. I've only they don't play it too often, but.
Okay. But it irritates somebody.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Sophia, the whole Sophia character has been such again, kind of split down the middle, maybe even a little more, so maybe even 60-40 on the side of not enjoying her, just based on some of the comments that we've been getting throughout the season. Again, this has been a very divisive season, just in terms of the overall fandom. Like, even some of the most die-hard From fans that we see every single year in our comment sections and the live streams every single year, die-hard From fans. Even some of them are not enjoying season 4 or some of the storylines at least. I mean, it's been a divisive season, if nothing else.
No,
and
totally
is she disappointing as an actress? She's disappointing me as a villain. She's ding dong, but I love the actress. And then that's a good way of putting it, and sometimes we can like the actors, sometimes we can like the actress every once in a while, but maybe not enjoy their performance. And very much both can be true for sure. Maybe he'll place the Sue in Sarah's house, and then she'll get framed for being the man in yellow. Oh, interesting. Will attack. Interesting. I mean, who knows? I suppose anything is possible. Like you brought up, Snug. We saw Sophia kind of go out of her way to see if it was even possible to manipulate Sarah again, and she did. She successfully did it. And we even hear Sophia talk about kind of likening it to Faith. Seeing if she could get her to do something. But it hasn't really gone anywhere yet. She hasn't actually done anything else with Sarah yet.
Yeah.
So no, I think that could be an interesting idea, throwing the man in yellow Sue inside Sarah's house.
I thought for sure Sarah was going to be the one to discover Sophia as man.
Me too.
Yeah,
She was one of my.
I thought she'd find a tooth. I thought she'd find something. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
As soon as Sophia decided to live with Sarah, I thought, okay, this is going to be her undoing. This is ultimately going to be the first little thread that begins the unraveling of finding out who Sophia really is. Because Sarah's really fucking smart. But again, I feel like they haven't written Sarah as smart this season as she has been in previous seasons. Again, I feel like her getting manipulated by Sophia that fucking easily, it just felt so out of character. It felt like character regression for Sarah, considering where she left off at the end of season 3.
Yeah, and and I don't write fanfic, but in my mind I was thinking of all the ways it could happen. I was like, oh, she'll find the tooth. I was like, oh, Julie and Sarah painted her room. Sarah's gonna come, or Sophia's gonna come back and freak out that her space was invaded, and that's gonna put up a red flag in Sarah's mind, and then Sarah's gonna start getting suspicious. Nothing like that happened. All my fanfic just was like,
I figured she'd say something in a way that reminded Sarah of the voices in her head. That's kind of what I thought that would happen, but of course that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see what Sophia ultimately does. I mean, it seems like she's, she put the hooks into Sarah to see if it's possible. Now she knows it is possible, so it would be weird for that storyline to go nowhere. It would be very strange if Sophia doesn't try something with Sarah. But we'll see.
But we're right back to Sophia doing gentle manipulations and behind the scenes stuff rather than overt stuff. So again, man, that's a lot of screen time on being burned on subtlety, subtle manipulations. And it's like we're at the point in the season where they I mean, we keep saying they need to take off the brakes and hit the gas. And I'm wondering, I wonder what they're going to put in episode 9. I don't think it's going to be, I hope it is. I hope it's shocking. I hope it blows our minds and really gets us primed for something like earth shaking in episode 10. But
I get the feeling it's going to be a cliffhanger ending. Being the calm before the storm, it tells me that we might get some interesting information, some interesting pieces of nuggets, some nice revelations here and there. But it does seem like it's going to be setting up the big kind of foray to happen in episode 10. So I will not be surprised if 9 ends on some kind of cliffhanger.
What do you think the children are pointing at?
Okay, now that's very interesting. Again, I think it could be 2 possibilities. One thing that PM and I were discussing is that when we see this shot here, when we see Sophia and Clara, if you look here at the wall behind them, they are very much in an upstairs bedroom. Right. They're in one of the houses, but it's definitely an upstairs bedroom based on the wall. This is the roof of the wall. This is the roof right here, making this the 2nd floor. So part of me wondered, could the children be pointing to Sophia and Clara and trying to get Tabitha to, figure out who she really is? But then I wondered, could they actually just be pointing to the sky? And could there literally be a storm on the way? Could the calm before, the title, the calm before, literally be referring to the calm before the storm that is on the way? Again, I think a lot of us had a feeling or have a feeling that Fromville is going to start pushing back at some point. Like, they're making a lot of maneuvers here. I mean, we saw what this place did when they simply built a fucking radio tower. What do you think they're going to do when Jade and Tabitha try to go for those bones? Or even worse, successfully get those bones and pull that tree out? So part of me wouldn't be surprised if they're actually pointing to a nasty storm that is getting ready to head into Fromville.
What's directly away from them? Could he be pointing at
right across them is the house?
Oh, okay.
So that's what makes me think that they could be pointing to the upstairs bedroom, maybe. But then again, it could just be pointing to the sky. It's hard to really tell.
They're pointing at Fatima's stomach, which looks like their head.
Or it's the golem. The golem is coming.
Yeah. Tell me now, and I have 0 theories on this one. You guys, Jeremy,
pointing and laughing at the wig.
He is not entertained by the wig.
They are pointing and laughing at the wig. Yes, best fucking theory yet.
Oh my god! Get that out of here. It doesn't belong. Why does she get a wig and I have this skull? She has 2 hairs. She has her hair and a hair on top of her hair. Damn it.
Good one. Very good one.
Oh my goodness. So what do you guys think is going on with Fatima's tummy? Is she becoming an Ankui?
An Ankui? I don't know. I mean, we see that just about every creature in Fromville has veins like that. The monsters do, the children do, the Komodo creature did as well. This was more of a tinfoily theory, but I put this in my breakdown last week, I think. Since Fatima gave birth to Smiley, could she now be cursed or destined to become the next midwife for the next monster that's going to get born? Could Fatima be slowly turning into a creature similar to the kimono creature? It was more of my tinfoil theory. But at the end of the day, I'm wondering if that it's just a straight up cost. That she's not necessarily turning into a monster or turning into anything maybe, but this is a physical cost that she is going to have to kind of risk using this ability. It was very weird that these symptoms for Fatima didn't start until she got into Smiley's mind, until she, stopped Smiley from killing Kenny. And she said right when she did that, she felt a coldness enter her. And then boom, we start seeing these symptoms. So part of me wonders if it's some kind of cost of the connection she has to Smiley, but she might not necessarily be turning into a monster, but it could be killing her.
Yeah, but the coldness, she said the coldness went away and she felt fine otherwise with no other symptoms. Yeah, all the symptoms that Christy was pointedly asking, which would have been consistent with having like a 30 per minute heartbeat or whatever, and the ultra low blood pressure. She wasn't manifesting any of those symptoms. Fatima wasn't. She said she felt fine. She wasn't dizzy, lightheaded, anything like that. So I wonder, because it's concerning for Christy on a medical level, but Fatima isn't really having any consequences, I guess, until her heart rate reaches 0, and then maybe then it'll be concerning.
And she keels over. But then again, one thing that was interesting, Christy gave her the ultrasound and looked inside. And she couldn't see, her organs weren't like shriveling up or dying or anything like we see the monsters do. It seems like the monsters have human organs, but they're all shriveled up and decayed. Right. So who knows? Could it be just, again, some kind of cost of her using this ability? Could she actually be slowly turning into a monster or something else? I have no idea at this point, but part of me wonders if it's just a cost of.
That's kind of what I think. That's what I would agree with.
Just something that says don't do this again and again and again, like it's a regular thing.
Yeah, it could be. Okay. Yeah.
And is the cold leaving more evidence that she is turning into a monster? I suppose because as PM brings up, the monsters aren't cold. That was one thing the show established pretty early on when 70s porn stash.
Oh yeah.
Jasmine. He was expecting her to be cold, but she was like super warm. Now that the coldness is gone, is that more evidence that she is turning into a monster? I don't know. But yeah, the monsters aren't cold. That is one thing that we have to remember. I don't know. I have no idea what's happening to Fatima, but doesn't look good.
Kevin wouldn't have stopped making out with Jasmine even if she was cold.
No, he wouldn't have. It's almost like he was expecting her to be cold.
Yeah. He was like,
weird.
And he was cool with it.
Yeah. He poured the storm.
Yeah, fucking Kevin. Weird Kevin. Yeah, I don't know. But I think the Fatima thing is interesting. The golem thing at this point, I don't think the golem's going to come to life. I think that was a pretty interesting kind of debate we were having earlier on when the golem was first getting built. Will the golem come to life? Will she be able to activate it? I think at this point, it seems like it's more just serving as a symbol for Fatima to kind of draw strength on, a symbolic kind of battery in and of a sense. Some people even think that she was channeling power through this golem in order to save Kenny. I don't know. At this point, when it comes to the whole golem thing, I'm starting to think it's just more symbolic.
Well, there's so much misdirection. The other thing I was thinking of as far as we have to go get the bones is the bile, and using the bile as a magic bullet, but that didn't work either. And I don't think the bones will work either. I think this is another misdirect, but yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. And this is an interesting one as well here from Just Stacey Lee. Says her vitals could simply be Smiley's as he would be sleeping in the tunnels. I think that's a possibility. Could Fatima be mirroring Smiley? If Smiley has some kind of vitals, would they be incredibly low, like so low to the point where he shouldn't even be alive? I mean, his organs did look rather shriveled up. It didn't look like his heart was even beating. But then again, who knows? I mean, we saw a dead version of Smiley. So no, I think that's an interesting possibility that she could be kind of taking on some of the physical attributes of him. Maybe I think it's as plausible as anything else we've heard, I guess. But yeah, who knows? I mean, what is really happening to Fatima? I guess.
And now, how good was Henry? How good was that? Because normally, if somebody's just talking to themselves, like monologuing into nothingness, normally that's way too on the nose for me. But that seemed that seemed really consistent, right? Did that hit with you guys the way it hit with me? I thought it was great, and it looked like a old man just coming apart at the seams.
Yeah, yeah, he's a good character. I think I didn't want anything to happen with like him and Victor, but it seems like they're going to be setting it up for him to that Victor's the anchor and he's going to do something to Victor, which is really, really dark. But I think it'd be fine. I think it works for the story.
I think the story needs a little bit of it, even, I would say. I feel like, heading into season 4, we were kind of led to believe that this was going to be a pretty dark season. This was going to be, one of the scariest, darkest seasons yet. And we haven't even lost a single character, really, yet. So, yeah, I mean, as much as Victor and, and Jade are kind of like my two favorite characters, at some point, yeah, maybe a major character death is exactly what the narrative needs to kind of spice things up a little bit, give it a little bit more stakes, give the story a little bit more weight. But I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
we shall see.
It never even occurred to me that he might actually successfully get Victor. I thought.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Like,
I figured he wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he would. Yeah,
I thought Henry would like try to pillow some other Victor while they're
Victor wakes up or something.
But imagine that. I mean, imagine Victor having to kill his dad the way Boyd had to kill Abby.
Yeah,
to protect either himself or somebody else.
Yeah,
that would be.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dark. Yeah.
Yeah, very dark.
That'd be pretty dark. Yeah, that'd be a little more on the lines of some dark shit. We got Katrina Marie for $4.99 again. Thank you so much, Katrina Marie. Did y'all see the clip of Victor's season 3 speech that From tweeted today? I didn't actually sat and listen to it, but I scrolled past it pretty fast. I believe it was the scene when Victor is in the basement of the church, right? And he's talking to Tabitha, I believe. I think it's the scene where he's remembering for the first time that it wasn't an actual puppet that was talking to Christopher, but it was really the boy in white. I think it's that scene. But no, I actually haven't gone back and listened to the dialogue in the actual scene. I just kind of scrolled past it and recognized it quick. But yeah, it looks to be that scene. It looks to be the scene where Victor is remembering for the first time that it wasn't actually the doll, but it was actually the boy in white Christopher was talking to.
Yeah, I saw that it was posted, but I didn't. I didn't watch the actual video. I'm so on edge about even though it was from.
I've been staying so far away from everything, right?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I probably should have said this at the beginning of the stream, so I'm glad you just reminded me, Ravener. But for those who don't know, apparently it seems like the details. Or maybe even full episodes, apparently. I'm getting conflicting reports. But it seems like there are massive leaks that have come out regarding the final 2 episodes. Tons of details. Who knows what's accurate? Who knows what's not accurate? Again, I'm hearing that even the actual episodes themselves are out there in the ether. I haven't looked for them myself. I'm not going to watch them even if they are out. I hate early spoilers like this. But I just want to give everybody a heads up. If you guys are on Twitter, Instagram, especially Facebook and Reddit, I would say if you don't want to get spoiled, stay away from those places. Just completely stay away, even from YouTube comment sections. Be careful, because from what I'm gathering, I've heard so many people come up to me lately, but message me lately and telling me that there has been massive spoilers going around from the final 2 episodes.
Mm.
I've been lucky enough up until this point to avoid them, and I'm going to try to continue to avoid them. One thing we never discuss here on the channel is spoilers or leaks. Like, I can't stand that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But just wanted to give everybody a heads up. Be careful out there. If you're in like from Facebook groups, if you're in from kind of Twitter threads or Reddit threads or anything, those are going to be the places where these leaks start to pop up the most. So just be careful out there. Know that there are leaks for the final 2 episodes. Yeah, for me, I'm just staying away from social media for the next 2 weeks. I don't want to see anything. Last year, I got the whole smiley thing ruined for me. I don't want anything ruined for me this season.
Yeah.
And even within our Discord, we do have a dedicated spoiler central. So the people that are interested in that, who do want to find out ahead of time, I don't know what kind. I mean, I literally haven't monitored that channel, but we do have spoiler central that you can go into, and if you want to discuss it, and until the episode airs, you're more than welcome to go there and do that. I mean, that's what that's for.
Yeah. Any spoilers anywhere else in the Discord will be an instant permaban though.
Yeah.
Instant permaban. But yeah, I'm trying to avoid it. I'm going to try as hard as I can to just avoid pretty much all social media. You know, other than kind of hopping on to get my sports news, that's pretty much all I've been doing. Just getting my sports news and then getting the fuck out. A lot of talk around the Boston Celtics right now, potentially acquiring Giannis, which is going to be fucking awesome if that happens. But yeah, be careful out there, guys. There are spoilers going around. And again, this happens every fucking season.
Yeah.
As soon as From started to get a little bit more popular, this just starts happening every year now. Season 2. It didn't happen in season 1 because season 1 was pretty small. But season 2, 3, and now season 4, all of the finales were leaked. Every single season, the finales were always leaked. And some seasons, the final 2 episodes, like this year. So yeah, just be careful out there. Try to avoid them as best you can. And, you know, I guess we can just hope for the best. I'm just going to try and avoid everything. Just going to try and avoid everything. But it's tough. Sometimes it's tough, you know, when you have a channel, when you're covering this stuff, you know, as a job. Sometimes it's hard to, you know, because you want to kind of interact with people in your comment section. You want to kind of see what their theories are and stuff. But then, boom, you end up stumbling on a spoiler that spoils the whole fucking thing for you. So I'm going to be careful. I'm going to be as careful as I possibly can when I'm interacting. But yeah, just be careful out there, guys. Another $4.99 from Katrina Marie. Thank you so much. Henry's dumb. How do you think you're talking to Miranda when her soul is on Earth in Tabitha? Yeah, poor Henry's really been on one this season.
Yeah,
He's not had the best season, I guess you could say, our pal Henry. And yeah, I feel like even before, you know, Sophia put the fucking whammy on him, even before that, he was heading down the freaking, you know, path of drunkenness.
Yeah.
And I feel for Henry. Like, I know he's grieving. I know he's got a lot of trauma he's dealing with. But he also still has a son that's alive here, a severely damaged son in Victor that needs it, that needs him now more than ever. So I do hope Henry kind of can overcome this, but I don't know, man. Part of me thinks Henry's going to be a goner.
Yeah, I think we were both getting tired of him being like the drunken fool.
It gets old.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it was the course of a day. I mean, it was like a day or two long bender, like within the world. For us, it was a few weeks.
Angry drunk's never fun.
Yeah. But he does seem like he does seem to realize that wasn't the path that he needed to be going when he went to Bacta and tried to work in the thing.
It seems,
boy, that vision of his flashes to the long-term care home. That is exactly the string that needed to be plucked to get to him, though. I mean, is it seems like it's exactly the right angle that would be so effective on him. And so I mean, even if it's, you know, even in a world full of where they rely so hard on suspension of disbelief in so many areas, that really seems, it did hit the right note with me. It was like, okay, you know, this, if they were going to get to him, that would be the way to get to him. And if they were going to manipulate, you know, we've seen it with Sarah, we've seen how Fromville operates. They take it, like if they said, go kill Victor, he would just say no because it's something so abhorrent and so horrible that
It's
you
gotta
wouldn't, a
tantalize
regular
you with
person
something
wouldn't
that
even.
Unless you're Sarah.
Yeah,
and then
they
Sarah
have
will do
to.
it.
It has to manipulate, and it has to frame it in a way that it's for the
You
greater
think that
good,
you're
or
getting
it's
something out
the
of it.
only way. It's the only way. You're not just going to help yourself. You're going to help everybody if you do this one terrible thing, and then you go back to the trolley problem. You know, like do I do one terrible thing to save everybody else? Yeah, I mean,
and that's the thing with Abby is did Abby how did Abby get into her mind to kill, you know, the other people? It seems like it's similar, but it doesn't seem like the Man in Yellow was in the town at that time.
Although Ellis had said that Abby was acting off. She was acting a little odd and strange, and that's why part of why Boyd was beating himself up so much, because he was so busy being Mr. Fish and Loaves to the rest of the town that he wasn't attuned to what was actually going on with Abby, and that kind of whatever manipulation was going on within her kind of slipped under the radar for him while he was relishing his role as you know, the guy looking for, you know, and he came back with the talismans. I mean, he was out running around looking for livestock and stuff. He was really he's basking in that role, and but at the price of not being attuned to what was going on within his own roof. That's probably part of why he was so vicious towards Frank. You know,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah, 100%. Fucking poor Clara. Fucking, I'm worried for Clara. I don't know if she's gonna make it out of this. Don't know if she's gonna make it out of this.
Yeah, they're gonna get a bonfire. Yeah, bonfire for her too. Poor Roger, man. He's just out on the driveway too. They didn't even take him out anywhere. They just
they just burn him right on the front fucking lawn. Yeah. Yeah, and Clara is sweet. I mean, she's one of the nicest characters on From. Like, she's always like super nice. So, you know, I don't really want to see anything happen to her, but I think she's a goner here. But we also got this scene here, this quick little snippet of Elgin pulling some kind of old Polaroid out of a box. And they haven't, at least as of an hour or two before the stream started, they still haven't released the official episode 9 press release photos. Usually every single week, MGM Plus and Amazon release anywhere from like 3 to 5 photos from the upcoming episode, just stills. But they haven't released any from episode 9 yet. And usually by now they are out. The only one that they did release was this one I'm about to show you. Now here we have Elgin right here with this photo. And I think many people are wondering if it is this same photo here that we see Sophia holding. This is the only photo that I've seen that has been released for episode 9 so far. Again, that's as of just a couple hours ago. I haven't checked recently. So if they're out now, they've only just recently come out. But up until now, this is the only one I've seen. So many people are wondering if this is going to be have something to do with uncovering Sophia. Is Elgin going to be the one that uncovers Sophia? Is there something in this photo that points to Sophia potentially being not who she is?
That photo is the photo of Julia Doyle in a bikini, and that Polaroid is going in a cigar box under Elgin's bed. Nobody's ever going to see that picture again.
I certainly hope not. But no, I mean, again, I think it's well past time that Sophia was uncovered a little bit here. So maybe this will be the first step to them uncovering her.
Yeah,
I think so. I think so.
But yeah, I hope it's not just a misdirect. I hope there is something to
it
this.
It could be, yeah. They could be looking at the wig at the end of the day. Yeah.
The biggest just misdirect this season that's really irritated me is the whole Donna heart attack thing. It's like, is that going to pay off at all?
It seemed like, just from the narrative standpoint, it seemed like just a way to kind of get the audience to think a beloved character is about to go, but not actually having to kill them. And I think we've seen that quite a lot this season. We saw that with Kenny too, with Kenny on the bus with Smiley. Like, I love Kenny. He's one of my favorite characters on the show. But I'm not going to lie. If Kenny would have died in that scene, having one final standoff with Smiley, facing down the man who killed his father, that would have been such a fucking kick-ass scene. And that would have been a really worthy way for Kenny to go out, trying to avenge his father's death. And again, I think it would have given the episode a lot more weight.
I would have agreed if this was the last season. If it was only going to be.
I still want Kenny to survive, but if he would have died there, I would have loved that scene.
Yeah, but the Donna heart attack kind of pissed me off, and I still think it basically for me all it was a free eulogy. It was a eulogy without having her being dead. So Boyd got to say his final. He got to say his one-sided. Feelings and all this,
which was a great scene, great fucking scene from Harold Perrineau. Yeah, I love it. As soon as the fucking door shuts, he's like, "All right, wake the fuck up! It's just me now. Wake the fuck up!" Like she's fucking playing with him.
But and then it kind of got Cowtree to pop in.
Yeah, that's good to have him back. He's one of the best characters, and it feels like they lost him too soon. They've underutilized him since.
I did like in the last episode where, like, when Boyd was walking in and Cowtree appears inside. Boyd walks away from Cowtree, and then Cowtree's right there inside. So,
but yeah, I don't know. Again, 2 episodes left. Episode 9, episode 10. What are we gonna get? We got. Let's see. I haven't checked the screen time. Yeah, I don't even know if it's uploaded on the MGM app. But I am wondering what is going to be the runtime for episode 9. Episode 9 is only 47 minutes long. It's one of the shortest episodes of the season.
But there's that 47. There's that 47.
It's the shortest. It's the shortest episode of the season, actually. Yeah, 47 minutes. The calm before. The residents of town stand at a crossroads unlike any they've faced before, as Boyd sets a daring and dangerous plan into motion. And that is all the synopsis reads. So I'm glad that there's not too much spoilery stuff in the synopsis. That's good. And we pretty much knew that this dangerous plan was getting enacted, so that's not really revealing anything there. But yeah, 47-minute runtime.
So about 43 minutes of meat, basically, minus the theme song and the end credits.
About 44 minutes probably of actual screen time. 43 maybe. Yeah, absolutely. Heard that 47, and then episode 10 is 66 minutes. I mean, usually their finales are usually always longer than an hour. Just historically, I mean, I have no idea what they'll do this season. But yes, if you go and look at all of the season finales, they're all usually around 60 to 70 minutes long, most of them. They're all at least an hour or longer. So yeah, hopefully the finale will be a good 60, 70 minutes, 65, 70 minutes maybe.
Yeah, it's David Aguil says, we've had 8 episodes.
We've had 8 episodes. You're not wrong, David. You're not half wrong, my friend. Oh, man. But yeah, I again, even though I know season 4 hasn't exactly been everything that we hoped it would be. And I can't speak for everyone. I can only speak for those of us that applies to. I know there's plenty of people that have been loving every aspect of season 4. And that's great. I love that. I love that we have both sides represented. But yeah, even though for some of us, season 4 hasn't exactly been what we thought it was going to be, I am still very much hoping that these final 2 episodes end off with a really, really nice bang.
I hope so. That'd be great.
I really hope so.
Yeah, all we can do is hope, at this point.
Yeah.
Because I do think a really strong ending could definitely paint the entire season in a much better light. Again, sometimes if you have a bit of a slow start, but the ending really, really you really stick the landing, that can sometimes make up for some of the kind of slower plotting that we've seen.
Right.
But I don't know. My comment's Blacklist. No, I see you, Nick. I see you. Well, this is the first one of yours I've seen, though. I don't see any others. If your comments were getting deleted, it was probably YouTube. But no, absolutely. Please tell me what your thoughts are. The author of the Glenn Gulag, Jeff Hoarding, is an anagram. Oh, for John Griffin. This is a huge deal, people. Interesting. The author for the Gulag, for the Grand Gulag, Jeff Horning, is an anagram for John Griffin. I didn't know that. I did not know that. That is new information for me. Cool.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And we know the whole Grand Gulag. I mean, they've worked that even into the storyline in season 4. And that was actually one of the better storylines, I thought. Julie of trying to dive into these children books too. She was at least doing something. She was being proactive. She was being productive, trying to actively learn more about this ability of hers. Again, I've enjoyed Julie's storyline for the first half of season 4. I mean, it's kind of fizzled out in the middle here, but I'm sure it's going to pick back up. But yeah. No, I did not know that. I did not know that. I didn't even know. I haven't even looked close at the Grand Gulag book. I have a really good picture of the Faraway Tree one, but no, I didn't know that. An anagram from John Griffin. Interesting. Yeah. Stephen King did the same thing with the Black Tower. The Dark Tower series. But yeah, 47 minutes, guys. 47 minutes will be episode 9. And then I guess we'll see what is the finale going to have in store for us. Again, definitely hoping on a strong finish, even though certain storylines haven't been my favorite, definitely still hoping for a strong final 2 episodes. But we'll see, folks. We shall see. But of course, before we always like to kind of close things out, one thing we want to hear from you guys in the chat, and haven't gotten Snuggie and Ravener scores yet, for episode 8 on a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being horrible and 10 being freaking awesome. What score do you guys in the chat and you guys here give episode 8?
Raven, you go first. I don't know. It's kind of low. 6.5, maybe 6.5.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. I had my mic off. I said I said 6.5. Yeah. I said I had my mic off. I was like, I'll defer you to you, Snug, and then Snug goes, he'll defer to me. Yeah, I said 6.5. I just was. It didn't hit for me in a lot of areas. There's a lot of discontent in the chat while we're doing the watch party, and I was just like, the thing is, again, it wasn't like I was angry or that it was just a straight face. It just didn't move me in a lot of ways. And it's always, especially the episodes that don't have the monsters in them, for me, it's always a balance between frustration and allowing for plot progression or allowing for things to be set up. And and I have a limit to, I feel a generous tolerance, but it does have a limit to it. And this one just was like, and the fact that for 7 episodes prior, we were always like, oh, well, the next one's gonna blow us away. The next one, boy, they're really gonna uncork on the next one. It's gonna be something great. And I did enjoy the one with Smiley and
that one was a decent one. Yeah,
Kenny.
Episode 7 was good.
Yeah.
So I feel 6.5. It leaves them a lot of room to improve, and do I think I'm cautiously optimistic, but there's more caution than optimism for what's going to happen in this. I hope number 9 blows us away. I hope number 9 has a lot of super cool stuff, but just the fact that we've seen, it's going to be two scenes at minimum with Clara and Sophia in it, and I'm just like, anyway, there's room to improve, but 6.5 for me on episode 8.
Okay, awesome. I think I gave 7 and 8. I think I gave episode 7 and 8, and I think that was my highest score of the season. Episode 8 though. Episode 8, I would probably give a 7.5 around there for episode 8. Wasn't my least favorite episode of the season, but definitely wasn't my favorite episode of the season either. I feel like we got some interesting answers, some things confirmed. but in large part it was mostly setup. When you start getting a lot of episodes that are mostly set up, it does start to kind of stick out a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
7.5 I'll give to episode 8 for me. But yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat, though. What are you giving episode 8 on a score from 1 to 10? We got a 5 from Ando. We got a 7 from Xavier. We got a lot of 7s in the chat. 7, 3 7s right away. We got a 4. We got an 8. We got a 5. Awesome stuff. Then we got a sigh of disappointment. We got a 7, and that score is carried by the Man in Yellow scene. Yeah, again, I think the Man in Yellow scene at the very end of the episode definitely elevates it at least like an extra half a point for me too. So I think that's why I was kind of teetering back from like 7.5. Because again, I feel like the Man in Yellow is just such a better version of the character, just night and day different in terms of how intriguing he is, how scary he is, imposing, interesting, mysterious. It's just a much better version of the character, I feel. So yeah, I'm with you there. We got an 8. We got an 8.1. Awesome. We got a 7.5. Nice. Very, very nice. Let's see what else we got. We got a 7. I'd say 7. Not confident, but I'll go with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, if people aren't super confident heading into these final two, it's understandable. I know for some of us, it hasn't been the most exciting season. We got another 7 in the house. Awesome. 7. Love it. We got a 6.7 in the house. We got an 8.5 in the house and a 6.5. I want Sophia Yellow gone. Bring back the Man in Yellow for good. This seems to be the sentiment that I am hearing a lot, over and over again, that people just really want the Man in Yellow back. They're very intrigued by that character and not super intrigued by the Sophia version. And again, I've kind of voiced my opinions on that similarly as well. Like I feel I don't not like the Sophia character, but I definitely like the Man in Yellow version of the character a lot.
He's got a lot of charisma. Yeah.
It's just more exciting for me again, and it's everything. It's the suit, it's the way he walks, it's the attitude, the comedic, the sadistic kind of glee that he has about him. Like everything that goes into the character really makes it super interesting.
Yeah.
So for me, that's just my personal opinion. But yeah. Oh, and we got 1.8 from Miss Joan as well. Solid 8 coming in at the end there.
And Robert Saunders drops in a 4.7.
Oh, 4.7. Love it. 4.7. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people were expecting season 4, episode 7 to be kind of like a big one because it's 4 and 7. And it was. I think episode 7 up until this point has been the best episode in the season. But yeah. I guess we'll see. We still got 2 episodes left. And what exactly is going to happen? Yeah, he's actually menacing in that form. And that's what it is. Like when it comes to a villain, when it comes to a main antagonist on a show like From that's been like super good in terms of their villains with the monsters and stuff, you want your main antagonist or one of the main antagonists to be scary. You want them to be menacing. You want to be afraid of them a little bit. And that is what the Man in Yellow brings. He brings that aspect to the character. And Sophia just doesn't have that aspect.
She's just completely flat.
You're just not afraid of Sophia. I mean, it's which is understandable. It's 2 totally different kind of things. But yeah, I think it's another reason why the Man in Yellow is just so much more intriguing. It's just more menacing. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Yeah, it's definitely not just us, PM. Yeah, because PM and I have been, we've been kind of like on a roller coaster for season 4 up so far, where it's been these ups and downs. But it is comforting to know that we're not the only ones that have had, some problems with some of the storylines here and there. It seems like it is a lot of people. So because you never want to just get like categorized as like, oh, you're just hating on the show. Anyone who's ever watched us for even more than a fucking week, that's not us. That's not our style. We don't just hate on things. We will give our honest opinion. And if it's something that we're not like super enjoying, we'll say that we're not enjoying, but we'll always give you a reason as to why we don't enjoy, an actual reason. I feel like a lot of people kind of just say things suck and they never give a reason as to why they suck, why they don't like them. But that's never something you'll hear us do. Like I never want to get up here and bash any kind of show, especially a show like From that I love. I love this show. But anytime that there is something that we're not liking, yeah, we'll point it out, but we'll always at least give you our reasoning behind as to why we don't like it, why this storyline didn't work, why this character choice didn't work. So I definitely don't ever want to come across like we're hating on the show, but I feel like it's okay to be critical about it every once in a while if it's constructive criticism, and that's something we always try to lean into. We never want to just hate on it.
Yeah,
But
well,
we
yeah,
also
you
have
have
to
to. If you want to be honest, you have to.
We also want
you
to be
have
honest.
critical,
Yeah, exactly. Right.
If I hated it, I mean, like anybody who knows me knows, I wouldn't be watching it. If I hated it, I'm not going to put myself.
Yeah, we wouldn't be watching it if we hated it. That's for sure.
Yeah,
and that was one thing, when I started the channel.
Yeah, we've always
I'm
been positive,
only going to cover shows that I genuinely like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
it's more
sometimes
fun.
we get four episodes into a series and find out that it just isn't panning out. Stuff like Pluribus and stuff like
Last
that.
of Us,
It gets very difficult. I mean, it gets difficult to even like dig through and try to find something positive to say on something that really is just a miserable experience.
Mhm.
And my life is too short, man. I'm on the back half of my life. I don't have 10 hours to watch 10 episodes of a series and then another 30 hours to talk about it. No way,
Dissecting
man.
it. Yeah. That's a big investment. It is. It's a big invest because again, From isn't one of those shows that you can kind of just watch and then walk away from until the next week comes around and another episode comes on. I mean, maybe some casual fans can, but at least us, when we're watching the show, it's not like we can just walk away. It's watching it. It's watching it a second time, and then it's dissecting it for hours and hours and hours on end throughout the week. So yeah, it is. It's a big investment of our time that we dedicate to the show. And yeah, that's something that we only want to do for things that we genuinely like. Absolutely. But yeah, still love From. Absolutely love From. It's still, in my opinion, it's still the second best TV show currently on TV right now behind Shogun. I think Shogun's the best show currently on. But I think From is a very close second with Severance right there, kind of closing in at third. Those are my three favorite shows that are on right now. And I'm looking forward to seeing where all of them go, where the rest of them go. We got Shogun season 2, which is filming right freaking now. We'll probably be getting that some point mid 2027. I cannot wait for Shogun season 2. Season 1 wasn't even a show. Shogun season 1 was legit high art. It was high freaking art. It was masterful in terms of filmmaking. But so is Severance as well. I think Severance is a masterclass in filmmaking in terms, even if you don't like the story, like if you look at Severance and some of their filming techniques and the cinematography, Severance is a masterclass in filmmaking. Absolutely. So those are my three favorites right now. But yeah,
good stuff.
We have 2 episodes left.
And I mean, I'm very, there's a few that I really liked. Like you said, Shogun. Now I'm really wondering, are they going to be able to capture that magic again for the second season?
I'm hoping they will.
I always beat the drum. Yeah, I always beat the drum that I like. I like a series that's great, and then I like a series that's great to end and don't carry it on. I want them to do that, and I want them to do that with A Night of Seven Kingdoms. I can't wait to see. And they did such a good job of following the source material. They have a recipe for success. When you have a good story, just follow the story. Don't get creative. Don't make it your own. Don't do like they've done with the Lord of the Rings of Bezos or whatever. There's a lot, like whenever somebody who isn't skilled and isn't smart and isn't talented makes it their own, they make it shitty.
It never gets better. It never enhances the story. At least I've never seen a case where it enhances the story.
Right. Especially when you have the recipe for success. They did it with The Witcher. They had season after, I mean, they had years worth of stories and more to come if they just followed the recipe. But they take a recipe and then like, I wonder what happens if I dump a bushel of cloves in it. Well, no, it didn't call for cloves,
Yeah, some things get botched, unfortunately. I mean, how many times have we seen shows start off with like an incredibly good first season, only for like The Witcher? The Witcher is a perfect example of that. Season 1 of The Witcher was fucking great. I loved season 1 of The Witcher. And then you see things start to kind of drop off if it's an adaptation of pre-existing source material and they don't stick to that source material. Yeah, usually it doesn't end up for the better. Maybe From just needs a fucking red wedding at this point. Maybe that is it. Maybe From just needs a red wedding. Yes, Severance is just such a gorgeous show. It really is. Everything, it's so sleek, sexy. Everything about Severance just looks so kind of cinematically pleasing, very aesthetically pleasing, I guess you could say. I cannot wait for Severance to come back. We're actually been talking about doing a Severance rewatch after From is over. We're thinking about doing that. Severance is, hey, I'm telling you, if you never saw Severance, check it out. And one thing I will say about everybody getting into Severance, at least give it the first 4 episodes. I believe episode 4 is when it really starts getting good. It's a little bit of a slow start at first, really good character development, really good world building in the beginning, but it's a bit of a slow start that some people, might have trouble getting through. But if you stick through it, if you get through the first 4 or 5 episodes of Severance season 1 and you're not hooked by episode 5 or 6, then it's probably just not your show. But again, I think right around episode 4 is when it really starts getting freaking good. And Severance is so fun.
Yeah, Apple TV has got some good stuff on it. We haven't picked that up yet, but I think we're going to. I think we're going to get rid of Netflix and pick up Apple TV.
Awesome. Yeah, Apple's got
Silo.
Yeah. Silo, that's right. Silo season 3 is just around the corner. I saw someone earlier in the chat asking if the Silo season 3 trailer was already out. Yeah, it's been out. It's been out for a little while now, and that is definitely a show that we are going to be covering here on the channel. I cannot wait for Silo season 3. I'm actually currently, right now, as we speak, rewatching Silo season 1 and 2 just to refresh everything. Because I love that show. I think Silo is a fucking awesome show. And I think that's a show that's geared a little bit more towards From fans. But we will also, yes, be covering House of the Dragon season 3, which is starting this week. It totally just fucking snuck right up on me. I've been so in From mode, which I love. I mean, covering From is probably is my favorite show to cover on the channel. That I've completely kind of just forgot about House of the Dragon. Literally right around the corner this Sunday, House of the Dragon season 3 starts. So yes, of course, we will definitely be covering it. I mean, the channel started with A Song of Ice and Fire. I owe my whole channel to House of the Dragon, essentially. So yeah, definitely going to be covering season 3. I don't have a whole lot of hope for the story, just because Ryan Condal does seem to be making it kind of his own. But if nothing else, I am hoping that heading into season 3, they can course correct maybe a little bit and at least give us some good battle scenes. I mean, we have some really good, or we're supposed to get some really good and big, iconic battles this season from Fire and Blood. And if they can adapt those right, that should be pretty interesting. But I do have my reservations about the story, the narrative aspect of House of the Dragon. So I really hope they can at the very least, nail the war side of it, the action side. And from the trailers, some of the stuff from the trailers, at least from the battles, does look kind of interesting. And maybe it's just my bias, but I mean, we're getting the Winter fucking Wolves. That is one thing I want to see. I want to see Roddy the fucking Ruin and the Winter Wolves. Knowing that Chibs got cast as Roddy the Ruin, I'm very excited to see this character, and I really, really hope they do this character justice, because this is one of the best characters from the book, hands down.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's how I feel. I mean, the best parts of this next season will be the battles, the set pieces that they can't not put in there because they have to occur in the sequence of events while telling the story. But my God, man, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of just shite that we have to sit through, just to get to those scenes that the writers can't not put them in there. And I'm critical of George Martin about his work rate and lying and all this other stuff, but as far as the craft of being a writer, I think he's masterful in the stuff that he did and the way he weaves stories and stuff. So having a George Martin story without George Martin in it is like having a Witcher story without Andrei Sapkowski in it. It's just like, do I really want to do this?
Yeah. Yeah, it's again, we got some interesting stuff. We gotta say, yeah, Tommy Flanagan's fucking great. He is. I love Tommy Flanagan. He's such a good actor. Fucking Chibs from Sons of Anarchy. I mean, iconic, absolutely iconic role.
And the way they show up, that'll be super cool. Yeah.
The way some of the stuff that the Winter Wolves do, in particular, Roddy the Ruin, man, this is going to be one of the craziest, most badass warriors you'll ever see in your life if they do the character justice. That is, he's the leader of the Winter Wolves. He's the representative of the House Stark forces. So this is going to be our representation for House Stark in season 3. Winter is coming. The wolves are fucking here. And boy, do they look absolutely badass. I mean, there was a little snippet that came out the other day that showed another little interesting glimpse of the Winter Wolves. And I gotta say, man, they look good. The Winter Wolves look good on screen. Narrative wise, what will happen, I don't know. But just based on the eye test alone, again, I haven't really looked at. I know there's been a lot of leaks coming out of season 3 that apparently have been really, really bad. I haven't looked at any of them, so I don't know any of them personally. But just off the eye test alone, the Northerners look good. The Winter Wolves look good. But again,
and the whole idea of them. I mean, they're just excess. They're excess older men that have. I mean, their job is to die. You know, their job.
They literally came to die. We've come to die for the Dragon Queen. That's literally what they have done. They come into this war knowing they're never going to go home, and that takes a certain kind of, fucking balls.
Do they have a number of seasons they plan to do for
4.
House of the Dragon?
There'll be 4 seasons in total. There's this one and then one. Yeah, 4 seasons. But for me, I am definitely also looking forward to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms season 2. Like you said, Ravener, season 1 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms was a breath of fresh air. It really was. It was a breath of fresh air in a sea full of shite, is what it kind of felt like. Especially after getting House of the Dragon season 2 kind of being being disappointing. Season 2 of House of the Dragon was kind of disappointing. But I am looking forward to season 3. Again, I love the world of Westeros. Again, we know that the story's probably not going to be super faithful, but I am hoping that the battles will at least be good. I just love being in the world of Westeros. Even if the show isn't exactly what I'm hoping it was going to be, I am still very much looking forward to watching it, still looking forward to covering it. And if for no other reason than to just see some of these scenes in isolation, like the Winter Wolves, the Butcher's Ball, some of these fucking crazy battles that crazy shit happens in. So I hope we see some of that. I hope we see from that.
Yeah,
you've come to die for the Dragon Queen. And they better put that line in. You better have that fucking line. But yeah, that's going to be some of the stuff that we are going to be looking at over the next few days and weeks. Of course, I'm always going to have one foot in the door on From, even when From is over and the episode 10 is come and gone. We'll still be doing From streams. We'll still be doing tons of, season 5 predictions, where the story's going to go. So there'll be plenty of From streams to kind of continue the conversation as long as we can, or as long as you guys want to, really. That's up to you. But we'll also be covering Silo Season 3. We will also be covering House of the Dragon Season 3, both of which are starting very, very soon. Again, House of the Dragon is this freaking Sunday, ladies and gents. We are just 2 days away, 3 days away from House of the Dragon Season 3. And, of course, we got Episode 9 of From Saturday. So this is going to be a pretty busy weekend, if nothing else, for me. We got Saturday night, we're going to have our pregame show. And our live watch party, and then heading into our live after show for episode 9 of From. And then Sunday night, I will be doing a episode 1 pregame show for season 3. I don't know if I'm going to do an after show on Sunday night, but at the very least, I'm going to do a pregame show for episode 1, heading into episode 1. And then maybe we'll do an episode 1 breakdown stream either later on that night or Monday night. But yeah. Got some good stuff to look forward to. And of course, any other shows that pop up between now and then that look good, that seem to be in our kind of wheelhouse, we will also be diving headfirst into. I mean, we're always looking for good new shows to dive into. That's for sure. But yeah, I've got some good stuff. And of course, if we do the Severance rewatch, we'll also be doing that as well. And I'm totally down for that. I haven't watched Severance in so fucking long. So I'm totally down to watch Severance again. But yeah, we got some good stuff. Got some good stuff to look forward to. Final 2 episodes of From, ladies and gentlemen. House of the Dragon Season 3 just around the corner. Silo Season 3 just around the corner as well. So definitely check those ones out if you haven't already. I think if you're a From fan, you'll probably really like Severance. It's got that mystery aspect to it. It's got really good characters, incredibly good filmmaking. Like Severance is just such a sophisticated show. So if you like From, I would recommend check out Severance as well. Catch up on House of the Dragon if you haven't already. We will be definitely covering season 3 of that and anything else that comes along the lines. But yeah, there we go, folks. Anything on the horizon that you guys are looking forward to? Films, shows, anything?
Not for me, honestly.
No, not really. Not really.
The only thing I want to see is Disclosure Day. I'm hearing mixed reviews, but I do still want to see Disclosure Day. I remember when the first few trailers were coming out for that, it actually looked pretty interesting. I'm not too sure now after learning some other things, but I still want to see Disclosure Day, if nothing else. And one film I will at least recommend is The Backrooms. The Backrooms was the best film of the year. For me personally. Like there's been a lot of good films that came out this year, but for me, hands down, The Backrooms is the best film so far of 2026. I would recommend checking out The Backrooms.
Okay,
And it's from YouTube. A fucking YouTuber did it too, so that's cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely check out Backrooms. I'll definitely check out the other YouTube one. Obsession.
Yeah, the lower budget stuff seems to be doing pretty good this year.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. That film blew up too. Wow. Awesome stuff, guys. Yeah, Backrooms is good. Backrooms is really good. And we are going to be getting some more Backrooms stuff. Kane Parsons has already been well open in talking about it, that he has other ideas that he wants to take the Backrooms franchise, both filmmaking and TV series. So we might be getting a sequel to The Backrooms and a TV show for The Backrooms as well. It seems like Kane Parsons really has a lot of stuff that he wants to do. And I'm just so impressed with this fucking kid. This kid is 20 years old. 20 fucking years old. And he has accomplished all of this almost single-handedly. The Backrooms kind of creepypasta myth, even though he didn't invent it, he very much popularized it. He took the Reddit post and he turned it into a full-on web series on his YouTube channel that blew the fuck up to like 100 million fucking views. He's very much known for being the kind of de facto kind of continuity expert for the Backrooms, because the Backrooms doesn't really have one set continuity, because it's a creepypasta that was born online that people have kind of contributed to over the years. So there really isn't like one set established canon, but most people follow the Kane Parsons canon as the official canon for the Backrooms. I do myself as well. I'm just so impressed with what this kid has did. I mean, he started off years ago from doing this little Backrooms YouTube show. It's a little web series. He did one video that blew up and he turned it into a full-on web series. And that turned into the studio A24 reaching out to him himself, wanting him to direct a full-on feature film of the Backrooms. So it's just super impressive to see how far beyond his years this kid is, how smart he is. His knowledge for filmmaking at such a young age is incredibly impressive. Like this kid, I'm just so impressed by this kid. So fucking impressed by him. So yeah, check out his story, guys. Check out his background, watch some of his stuff. I think you guys will be very impressed when you see just how much he's accomplished, how sophisticated his style of storytelling is for how young he is. It's just very impressive.
It's about time to have, some new people come on the scene. Everything has been too corporatized.
Especially from YouTube. I love that he's a YouTuber. Like, and he looks at the YouTube thing not as a platform to get him into the filmmaking. He looks at YouTube as the end goal, the end game. Like he loves his channel. He loves uploading onto YouTube. It's not like he was just doing it so he could get this. He loves the idea of uploading onto YouTube. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does something on YouTube in the future. But I know that they're, after how successful Backrooms 1 was, I have to imagine he'll probably be getting a sequel and a TV series.
Yeah, and of course, the creatively devoid Hollywood is now plundering Reddit looking for new ideas. Yeah,
yeah, of course. Gotta love it. But yeah, it was good. Again, the Backrooms film was good. This is the original Backrooms found footage that Kane Parsons uploaded 4 years ago, 86 million views. This was the first kind of time people ever brought the concept of the Backrooms into film. Up until now, it was just all kind of Reddit and 4chan posts. But yeah, this kid did it. Look how young he is here. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, super impressed. Check out his channel. It's called Kane Pixels. He's got the whole Backrooms series up there. I think it's got a bunch of different fucking parts. He goes super deep into the lore. And it's good. Again, super impressed by that fucking kid. 20 years old.
Nice.
20 years old.
It's nice. It's nice to have something fresh,
Absolutely.
Fresh take. And I love when something that one and also Obsession, they it's filmed for $750K or $1 million or something. Then it gets bought by like Blumhouse for $15 million. So he made his bag already, and then Blumhouse distributes it, and then they make hundreds of millions. So
yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's doing it. I did see I can't remember, I think it was Obsession, but like the art designer or something got paid like
the art designer got paid like a few $1,000s, and he's like all upset now because the movie did super well. But hey, that's the contract you signed, buddy. You can't complain.
Exactly.
It's an indie film. It was an indie film made. Yeah, I mean, it's an indie film made by a YouTuber. Nobody was expecting it to do as well as it did. So you just live and you learn. Next time, make sure you have a better fucking contract. That's on you, pal. I have no sympathy for that guy. No sympathy for him at all.
And they said they shot him in the foot because they could have used that as a springboard to say, hey, I was the art designer on this this thing that
I mean, it tells me that he didn't have super amount of faith in the project to begin with, because if he did, he would have hopped on as a producer and he would have made a lot of money back, or some kind of investor, if not a producer.
Or tried to negotiate for points rather than upfront.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Negotiate for a royalty, a percentage of the proceeds. Anything. There's so many things you could have negotiated in your contract. That is not on anyone but you, pal. Yeah. No sympathy for that.
Exactly.
No sympathy for you, pal. Talk about fucking first world problems.
Yeah.
Doc Phil says, do you watch the TV show Fallout? I do. I haven't finished season 2 yet. I actually was going to cover season 2 here on the channel. I covered a few episodes of season 1 when it came out, and I really enjoyed it. I was going to cover season 2, but I was just so fucking busy at the time. I just didn't have enough time to do episode breakdowns and stream on it and stuff like that. But I am going to finish it. I do like Fallout, the video game series. I played just about all of the games. Love Walton Goggins. I try to catch everything that Walton Goggins is in. The guy's just such a genius actor. He's so fucking good in everything he plays. So yeah, I got to catch up on Fallout season 2. I only just started season 2 a few weeks ago. I think I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but it's a good show. It is a good show. And if when season 3 comes around, I will definitely try and cover it here on the channel. For sure. But yeah. There we have it, folks. There we have it. We got a few days away from episode 9. We have only 2 episodes left from season 4, ladies and gents. So make sure you come back and hang out with us here Saturday night for our live pregame show and our watch party, and then our after show discussion. And then Sunday night we have House of the Dragon season 3 premiering. And apparently season 3 episode 1, the very beginning, is going to be the Battle of the Gullet. So it looks like season 3 is going to start off with a massive bang, probably one of the biggest battles we'll see in the entire series. And I really fucking hope they do it justice. That's all I can say. I hope they do it justice. But yeah, we got some good stuff to look forward to.
I predict the white guy with the blonde hair will die.
Oh, yeah, we have Robert Saunders deathless for the remainder of the season for the panel. I have Christy or Marielle. Christy or Marielle. Interesting. I think Henry. I think Henry could be one that goes. I definitely think. I mean, Marielle. I mean, I feel like they're finally giving her more to do this season in terms of her kind of starting to take it on herself that she wants to try and free these souls. She hears the torment of all of them. I can see just as they're giving her something, they kill her off. Christy has always been a good one for the Deadpool list. I feel like they've been foreshadowing her death for quite a while. Donna's death, I wouldn't be too surprised if that happens. I mean, they foreshadowed Donna's death heavily. But for me, I think Henry is one of the ones I have close to the top of my Deadpool list. I get a feeling Henry's going to have a bad outcome here.
Yeah,
What about you guys?
Henry for sure. There were a few. I mean, I had Fatima way up there, and then they pulled her back from the abyss. Well, they've had a few characters that I felt that they've served their purpose, and they've kind of reached their terminus as far as a useful character.
Yeah.
And then
Like
they brought him
Elgin,
back
I
from
could
the
see
brink.
Elgin dying. I could easily see him dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be and no huge loss really.
No.
To the story or anything else. I mean, I could see Ellis dying.
Me too.
Yeah, that
Me
could
too.
be.
He's probably just narrative wise, Ellis is probably the most useless character on the show.
But you got to think. I mean, they're probably going to pick. I mean, not to be whatever, but they're probably going to pick like strong, like fighting, like probably men that are stronger and able to fight, and also able to lift giant boulders and stuff to go down into the caves. I would think. I couldn't see somebody like Patty being added to the away team.
Oh God, no.
There's also, I mean, you got to figure who is Acosta assigning to the different exploration or the research teams. So you take all those people out, and then who are you left with? Maybe Sean Hannity that guarded the door at Colony House when Sophia came in.
Mm-hmm. Some of these extra red shirts.
Yeah. Anybody who just recently got a name that we didn't know who their name was. Now, so
yeah.
So you guys, I know in the chat that they made a very strong argument that by having Sophia reveal her plan to Clara, that is almost
that might steal Clara's fate. Yeah.
But does it save her, or does it? I automatically leaped to that's the end of Clara, but somebody thought, well, maybe because why would they tell her that just to kill her? That's another good point.
That's what villains do.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and that's the thing. Part of me wouldn't be too surprised if this whole Sophia Clara thing is just meant to be a plot device where Sophia can deliver exposition to us as the audience, but she's talking to Clara. Could just be a way for, it could just be a mechanism for certain reveals. But if that is the case, then that does not spell good news for Clara.
And Steve, the guy that rang the bell, he didn't even have a name till last episode either. Steve. Oh, he got banged up, but he's fine.
Yeah.
Well, with what Patty's the one who lost half her face. I expected her to sow more discord against Tabby, but that didn't happen.
Right.
That's how they set
Being a
that
little
up.
upset about getting her face fucking melted off. Yeah. I might do it.
They definitely have to clear out the main cast for the last season because there's just too many characters.
Like we were saying earlier, I think Katrina brought it up, and something we've also talked about in the past. From needs to have a kind of red wedding moment where some characters do get cleared off the board because there's simply just too many characters heading into the final season. You got to kill some of these characters off, some of these storylines that aren't super vital to the main overall plot. And again, it also that would also bring the danger back into From. It would also give that, just for me personally, a little bit more of that excitement of feeling like, okay, maybe characters can go at any moment, because we've seen a lot of plot armor in season 4.
Right.
I want to see. I want to see season 1 people go too, not just
exactly.
I mean, it can't be
I want it to be a real cost. I want there to be real stakes. If knowledge comes with a cost, then we need to see a little bit more of that cost, because they're not paying a very heavy one yet.
They haven't paid any,
I mean, other than NPC Roger, that's really kind of the only cost that this, and he was a straight up NPC Roger. He was an NPC character.
What percentage chance do you think that Henry might be successful in killing Victor? Do you think they'll kill Victor?
I don't. No, I think if
so.
either of them, if one of them has to die, it's going to be Henry dying trying to kill Victor. It's going to go wrong. Something's going to happen, or he'll snap out of it. Something along those lines. But I definitely don't think Henry will be successful in killing Victor. If Victor is even the anchor. Again, we were assuming Victor is the anchor because it makes the most sense. But Henry did enter this world with Tabitha. Tabitha could also potentially literally be the anchor as well. So I guess I lean a little bit more towards Victor, but I guess I just don't want to discount the possibility it could be Tabitha as well. But yeah, I don't think, regardless of who it is, I don't think Henry's going to be successful. I think if Henry does try to kill Victor, he's going to probably get killed himself.
I can see Victor being wounded being the cliffhanger for the season. Or part of the cliffhanger for the season.
Okay, I could see something like that. I could definitely see something like that for sure.
Or maybe he'll have a heart attack and recover immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's have a heart attack and literally recover the next fucking day. Oh man, gotta love it. But yeah, I guess we'll see. And let us know in the chat, who do you think, one character that you guys definitely think is not going to make it through these last 2 episodes? Who is on your death list, chat? Who is going to die in these final 2 episodes? Let us know. And we got Mick Light for another $2. Yeah, they say every season this is going to be the scariest and darkest. This is true. They kind of have said that every season. But I mean, from season 1, 2, and 3, I at least really enjoy the progression of the story. Like I love the first 3 seasons. This has really been the only season that I've been a little kind of disappointed in. I love season 1. I think season 1 is perfection. Season 1 will always be the best season, in my opinion. But I like season 2 and I like season 3 as well. I liked the progression of the story and where it was going and some of the things that they were setting up. This has really been the only season that I've been a little bit disappointed in. And it's just because some of the storylines just haven't really hit for me so much. But yeah, they definitely did say that this was supposed to be the darkest season yet. And we're not quite seeing that yet. At least not yet. Again, I don't want to judge it too prematurely. We still have 2 episodes left. These last 2 could be incredibly fucking dark, and that could get paid off. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. I think a lot, at the end of the day, I think a lot is hinging on these final 2 episodes. For people like me, and I know I'm not alone, I know a lot of you guys also share similar kind of misgivings in terms of some of the things that you maybe didn't like in season 4. So it makes me feel good that I'm at least not alone. But I think if nothing else, it also puts more pressure on these final 2 episodes to really stick the landing, to really bring it home in an exciting way, and to really give us something kind of definitive and juicy to chew on while we wait for season 5. I think that could go a long way as to making the season overall as a whole more appetizing if it has a really strong ending.
It'll be Alma the goat.
Hey. Fucking Alma. Alma's going to be the last survivor. It's not even going to be Ethan. It's just going to be fucking Alma. Alma walking the fucking streets alone. Alma's going to have the bell around her neck, just walking the streets alone. It's just going to be Alma. And she's going to have Julia's wig.
That would be an ending. Yeah, that would be an ending.
Julia's wig. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I don't see Victor dying until I don't see Victor. Characters like Victor and Boyd. Like I don't see them dying until season 5. Until towards the end of the actual story, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so far, Jim passing was the biggest moment. Absolutely, Paris. Yeah. I agree with you. So far, that was pretty much the biggest character death we've gotten. I know Tien Chen was a pretty big character death, but Jim was a way bigger character death. He was one of our main characters.
Yeah.
This story is essentially set around the Matthews family. So yeah, I agree with you. I think Jim passing was the biggest one so far. I mean, Father Kotri could probably be arguably just as big, but at least since Father Kotri, Jim's probably been the biggest one so far. I agree with you.
And it was great too. It was, I mean, the last seconds of the season.
Great way to end the season.
Wow. Yeah, it was
a way to end the season. It was. Yeah, I'm very. Yeah, it is. It's very surprising we haven't gotten a single main character death at all this season yet. So it is. I was expecting to lose a little bit more. I was for sure. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, Donna's storyline bit frustrating. Tabitha's storyline's been a bit frustrating. They haven't really done much with her. Randall and Julie started off really, really strong, their storyline, and then it's kind of fizzled out. They've been kind of a holding pattern. Again, some of the storylines have been really good. Some have just been not my favorite, I guess. But if nothing else, I love discussing it with all you guys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But yeah, here we go, folks. Final 2 episodes. Again, Saturday night at around 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be going live for the episode 9 pregame show to kill some time while we wait for episode 9 to load up on our screens. Then we'll be heading into the Discord for the episode 9 watch party. And then after that is over, we'll be right back here on YouTube for the episode discussion. And then, of course, Sunday night, we have House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode 1 pregame show right here on the channel, and we will see what the next phase of the Dance of the Dragons is going to bring us. Season 3, Episode 1 is supposed to be a fucking barn burner of an episode, so they have a lot to live up to. A lot of hype to live up to. But we'll see. We shall see. But that's going to do it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Big thank you to each and every one of you for joining us on this fine Thursday evening. And, of course, awesome thank you to my wonderful co-host, Lord Ravener, Snuggy Jr. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to do it, man.
Happy to be here,
As always a pleasure.
Absolutely. And of course, if you guys have not already subscribed to our other co-host, PM Philosophy, get over there, subscribe to her channel. The link to it is in the description of this video down below. You can find it there. And yeah, we will see all of you guys. If not tomorrow, I'm going to try and get in a season 3, episode 1 preview stream for House of the Dragon tomorrow night. But if I can't, we will definitely be live Saturday night for our episode 9 from Watch Party, and then Sunday night for the House of the Dragon premiere. But I will try. I'm going to try and do a House of the Dragon stream tomorrow night if I can, but we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, big thank you to each and every one of you, ladies and gents. Stay safe out there, folks. Keep those tinfoil hats on, and we will see you on the next one. Cheers.